The incredible true story of a master manipulator and the people caught up in her lies. New documentary series Bad Nanny starts Monday night at 9:35 over on RTE1. But now here on 2, we join the RTE Sports team.
SuperValu believe in community, and community includes everyone.
It's fair to say there's a bit of excitement ahead of the last provincial football final of 2025, and it is a game that has so many different strands. Meath's ending of one of sport's great dominations, Louth's appearance in a third successive Leinster final for the first time in 111 years and going for just their first title since 1957. And of course, there may be something else in these minds as well.
The lads from the Boyne Valley were quickly into their stride.
And here it is. Now they're All-Ireland champions for the third time.
Meath's defence is rock-like. Meath are the new champions to the unbounded delight of their many followers.
Matt Kerrigan, still Matt Kerrigan, under pressure. And he knocks it into the back of the net.
Stephen White packs it past Conor Martin for a wonderful goal.
Meath are the All-Ireland football champions for 1999.
Protesting that it was pushed in. The 2010 Leinster football final has been won by Meath.
The Leinster semi-final day and a whole lot riding on this. Louth back to another Leinster final, a third on the bounce.
It has to be Meath in the Leinster final. So Croke Park is set already.
And they go again. It wasn't the smoothest start to Robbie Brennan's reign as Meath manager, but after claiming third place in Division 2 and the loss of 2 key backroom members, it was followed by a 130 haul against Carlow, a back from the dead follow-up against Offaly before that sizable result against Dublin, and an unexpected late addition to their squad gives them extra firepower. Ger Brennan has had his issues in the springtime too, although he could argue an overloaded treatment room had quite a bit to do with that. The injuries look to be mostly cleared up, and although Louth have looked far from perfect in 2025, this group of players has plenty of experience playing at Croke Park on big days. Not many would have predicted this lineup. The Leinster football final of 2025 between Meath and Louth throws in at 4:15. Here come Meath out onto the pitch for their first Leinster final since 2020. 5 years on, 5 of the same players starting, including Jordan Morris. We weren't sure we'd get to see him again in 2025, but we could well see him in today's Leinster final. And now here come Louth out of the blocks. Their third in a row, second in a row with Ger Brennan as the manager. Of course, it was Mickey Hart who brought them to the one initially. Oh, look at the crowd here in Croke Park. It's an unbelievable atmosphere, and Sean and Kieran are soaking it up with us. Kieran was obviously up in Clonus yesterday for the Ulster final. Such an occasion that was, and Sean, it kind of feels like this is going to be another brilliant occasion, another tight match, but maybe just in a different way.
Yeah, I think both sides playing yesterday up in Clonus will have probably expectations of being in All-Ireland semi-finals and finals. I think both teams coming here today, a Leinster final at the start of the year would have been a dream, and it feels like that here. It feels like a separate occasion. It feels like a one-off game. Whoever wins here today, this could be the pinnacle of these players' careers. No one in Leinster has, outside of Dublin, holds a Leinster Championship medal. This is going to be spectacular. You feel the colour, the flares, the sense of expectation. It feels like a proper Croke Park final, and I think we're all looking forward to it.
I'd suggest maybe they had dreams of a final, but perhaps the title, maybe Louth, because they have got incrementally closer to Dublin in the last couple of finals.
Yeah, but this is a lot different, Joanne. The last 2 years, Louth came up to probably face a Dublin team, and they didn't get off that bus. They got off the bus with a little bit of hope, but very little of it. Now they're getting off the bus with belief, and this is it's the Leinster finals, like the Leinster finals of old. And Sean's 100% right. Like, these two teams are not probably going to be All-Ireland winners, but this is a massive day in their career. This is, they're sealing something here. You've got the likes of Donald Keoghan, who's played 176 times for Meath. Brian mentioned 143. You've got Louth, who've gone 1957 without a title. This is the effort that these lads put in, the sweat, the blood, the tears, to finish their inter-county careers with something. Meath are probably a developing young side. Louth are kind of around the last few years. You said it's their third final. It's going to be a brilliant day, a brilliant occasion, and what Leinster final should be about.
But with massive pressure as well, because you have Louth, who should really probably be expecting, given what they've done in recent times, to win it, given their recent record over Meath. But you've got Meath, who've just knocked out Dublin.
Yeah, managing the expectation of the occasion really is going to be a big thing, and you can say, okay, Louth's lost a couple and now this could be their time, and they'll think that, but playing in a game where they were probably not expecting to win and no one is expecting them to win is very different to coming here today with that sense of expectation on you. That's going to lead to mistakes, it's going to lead to pressure. There have been players that hadn't slept last night. No one on this pitch knows this sort of occasion, and that in itself is going to bring this game into a life of its own, and equally from a Meath perspective, a young team, a team probably wasn't expecting to be here at the start of the year, hasn't been here in a long time. We're going to see new names appearing as leaders, but it's unpredictability and uncertainty that we're all looking for.
I think on that, John, like Meath's form, Joanne, has been streaky enough. They've blown hot and cold, started the league well. They've had bad halves against awfully good halves. How much have they taken belief from that Dublin? They have to bring that same level of attitude, that spirit. It's going to be a very nervy first 15-20 minutes here. So both teams, you can expect it's going to be more of a game of chaos rather than control, probably, we saw yesterday, and it's going to lead to a great spectacle, hopefully.
It already feels like there's a bit of chaos. Meath and Louth fans, obviously Meath came here to support two of their teams today, but both sets of fans have been knocking around this area of the city for many, many hours now. And of course, Dublin's men may not be playing here today, but the county have still taken home a Leinster title, victory over their great rivals Meath, the evergreen Hannah Tyrrell scoring their first goal. And then she was the woman who set up their second for Eilish O'Dowd, making it 12 Leinster titles in a row. Carla Rowe, once again the captain this time, to win. Now, we've mentioned plenty of things to do with Louth and Meath, but there might be a little bit of angst in the stands as well as maybe on the pitch as well. And we're going to be heading a little further down the sideline in a moment to reflect on a day 15 years ago when Meath emerged with a win that saw a provincial final go from Monday morning sports section to days, maybe even weeks, of front page news stories.
There is a magnificent atmosphere. It's an occasion, of course, which has been dominated by the Dubs, but we're set for new champions in 2010. Here's a chance for Rooney. What a goal by JP Rooney! Is that the significant moment? It's high up into the cloud. It's stopped on the line somehow, and it's in the back of the net. Louth are protesting that it was pushed in.
Did you throw it in? No, I was pushed in over the line before it was in the back of the net, so.
Heartbreak for Louth.
It's an absolutely disgrace, the decision that the referee made in the last minute of the game. And today I think we were absolutely robbed. He's Dick Tobin without a mask.
The 2010 Leinster football final has been won by Meath.
Yeah, famous images from 15 years ago. Two men that were involved in each panel that year. With me, Paddy Keenan, the Louth captain, and Brian Farrell, who was on the Meath panel that year as well. It's the big thing from a Louth perspective today, win this match, and hopefully 2010 is never spoken of again.
Hopefully so, yeah. A lot of talk about it for the last 15 years, but certainly a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks. And look, I suppose these players, both sets of players, that won't factor at all. It's more for the supporters and maybe ex-players like us older lads. But yeah, it'd be great to put it to bed one way or another. Even Brian said the same. you know, it'll put it to bed once and for all, and hopefully it'll be resolved on the pitch and in a fair fashion.
Brian, in a strange way, it's almost like the provincial final that neither county won, because give me the insight into what that Meath dressing room was like afterwards. By all accounts was a morgue, not a haven of celebration.
Yeah, it was like a roller coaster from when the last minute of the game to when we thought we were going for a goal. I remember I was down along the sideline. I was going to kick the ball into the net. The ball went into the net. We thought we had a goal. We won it. Then somebody says it wasn't a goal. There may be a replay in the dressing room after it. So it got very quiet, very quick. And the celebrations were kind of muted. Now some of us, we put it to bed quite quick and we said, look, it's a referee in error. Let's enjoy this, you know. But look, as Paddy said, it's about these set of players today trying to rewrite history for themselves and put 2010 to absolute bed.
It's such a massive opportunity. The occasion is brilliant, and by all accounts you can't buy a jersey anywhere in Meath. The whole county has gone football mad again.
It's fantastic for both counties, for the sets of children in both counties, because they now have a tangible team to follow. So they're going to games, bringing their kids to games, adults, and they're actually following teams, whereas we probably at both teams had 10 years where the children couldn't follow anything. So monkey see, monkey do, and it's really good to see all the colour out in both counties over the last few days.
The fact that Louth have been here, it's a third consecutive Leinster final, the league victory a couple of weeks ago, people will talk about Louth coming in here today as favourites.
I don't even think the bookies are calling anyone favourites. It's going to be genuinely 50-50. I don't know how anybody could call it. From a Louth point of view, yeah, you're hoping that the last two finals will stand to us. But, you know, neither set of players have played under a crowd, 60, 65,000, whatever it is. So there's an extra bit of pressure. From Louth point of view, maybe a bit more expectation than there was in the last two seasons. But look, local derby, one-off game, anything can happen. And if we come out the right side by a point, I'd be happy enough.
There's a generation of us in Dublin grew up thinking it was Dublin that were the big rivals for every counter in Leinster. That's we get carried away with ourselves. But this is the one that defines the year, isn't it? This is the derby more than any other that each of these counties wants to win.
Yeah, and look, it's absolutely brilliant for both sets of fans. The build-up around Dundalk and Drogheda has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure the same in Navan and towns around Meath. And I think it's captured the imagination of everybody, not just the two counties, but around Leinster and outside the two teams as well. So it's probably what the GAA needed as well, getting Dublin out of the picture and let two fresh teams have a crack at it. And you can see the colour and all here already. It's going to be an epic game. It's going to be brilliant.
Okay, should we expect a cagey afternoon, do you think?
It will be cagey. As Paddy said there, it's possibly the first time in 15 years that you have 65, 70,000 people coming here all thinking they can win, and that's fantastic. So I'd say we'll start off cagey. I think both teams will target each other's kickouts. That has to be a massive opportunity, and it's a great day. It's a great summer's day of football, so we'll be looking for a lot of two-pointers today.
Brian Farrell, Paddy Keenan, thanks so much for being with us. Enjoy the game, gentlemen. Great atmosphere, Joanne. Hopefully the match lives up to it in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, and we'll probably have a discussion about the potential for two-pointers or otherwise here in Croke Park a little bit later on. But first of all, Paddy Keenan, what a footballer, an all-star that year back in 2010. When he lined up alongside Andy McDonald, now Andy McDonald played wing forward that day, he had 10 on his back, he has 9 on his back today. He came back after 4 years in retirement, Sean Kavanagh. Unbelievable that he's lined out in 2010 and today as well.
Yeah, and I remember chasing after Paddy Keenan plenty, what a player he was. But that's typified Louth, players from Louth, the commitment they've given over the years. And look, they were close towards the tail end at those 2000s. I played against these lads and they were brilliant then. They're back to being brilliant now, but they've stayed the course, and it feels like, and they will feel that today will be just reward for that service and character that they've shown.
And what a fascinating thing it would be if Andy McDonald were to come back from what happened in 2010 and to emerge victorious this afternoon. Funnily enough, in an interview he gave when he retired, he talked about just the pure honour of lining out for his county. Well, he's doing it again this afternoon, but they have to get past a Meath team who've already knocked out the behemoth that is the Dubs.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
FBD doesn't stand for Fantasy Battle Duel, Freezing Barbecue Despair, or Floating by Dungarvan. FBD stands for support. We support drivers in Ireland with at least 35% off car protect insurance. Call us in Mullingar or get a quote online today. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do.
Get the Samsung Galaxy S24 or the all-new Galaxy S25 with 3. Plus, trade in your old phone and we'll give you an extra €100 on top of its trade-in value. Now that's a big deal. Switch in store or see 3.ie today. 3, Ireland's best network.
One touch, I just had to have forever you'll be part of me.
Warning, Domino's delivers quicker than you think. Hot and fresh in 25 minutes on average.
Domino!
Some things you can't control. Your energy costs you can. Control what you spend with Prepay Power, so you're never taken by surprise. Well, almost never. Prepay Power. Hello, Control.
If you kill, you know.
I don't remember who we played, but I remember the streets, full of fans.
Hands gripped tight. The ice cream van. It felt like the whole county was there. Then suddenly the world stood up. I couldn't see a thing. You picked me up, then flags went up. Electric. I don't remember who we played. I don't recall the score, but I remember that sunny day. Will forevermore.
The GAA Football and Hurling Championships. Experience the unforgettable.
Think you don't like this tasty looking Pepsi Max? You're probs wrong. If 73% of Ireland prefer the taste of Pepsi Max, you probs prefer Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max. Thirsty for more.
Suddenly.
New 5-gig broadband isn't just smooth, it's fast. Get Ireland's fastest broadband, powered by Virgin Media. It's playtime.
I'm going to need Larry.
Larry'd sort you out.
Has anyone seen Larry? Larry?
Larry?
We'll have him back Tuesday.
Good luck.
Woodies. We're all homemakers.
More sunshine, and they're predicted a crowd of more than 60,000 here. They might even get the biggest ever crowd for a Leinster final that doesn't feature Dublin. Instead, it's two counties eager for their waits to finally end. Robbie Brennan has already been winning manager on finals day at Croke Park. Ger Brennan won 3 Leinsters as a player with Dublin. For the counties they're managing this afternoon, right now, this feels like everything.
Robbie, very, very special day. You must feel maybe in a way you've got momentum on your side after the high of Portlaoise a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, defo. I suppose it was brilliant on the day, but we had to park that very quickly. Obviously, we knew what this was coming on the horizon, so thankfully managed to do that now. We had a good week this week and we're ready to go, yeah.
How do you prepare players for dealing with an occasion like this? Because it's going to be a Leinster final, the like of which we've not had for quite some time.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Luckily, a lot of the lads have been through it underage and stuff like that. They've had kind of big days in their own right, so yeah, they're all fairly relaxed now, and as I say, just looking forward to it.
How big is the challenge?
Yeah, it's massive. Like Louth are rightly so have beaten us the last couple of times because, as I've said before, they've been the better team, so huge amount for us to try and turn that around, but sure, look, that's why we're here to do it.
How much of a benefit is the experience of being here over the course of the last couple of years?
We know in a few hours, Damien, but I know it has to be a benefit in terms of dealing with the occasion, albeit maybe last year, certainly the year before, because it was the Dublin juggernaut that maybe expectations in the county mightn't have been as high, but now today you have a Louth team and a Meath team, and both sets of players are quite familiar with one another, Damien, and they both fancy the chances today.
A lot of people are obviously looking back at the league meeting. How stronger a team are you now from the time you've had and also the extra players you've brought back?
It's our strongest panel that we've had to pick for this particular game, and probably the most headaches we actually had in terms of naming our 1 to 15 or 26 in the reserve. So it was a couple of tough and tight calls we had to make, but it's brilliant to be in that position this year compared to last.
They're the two managers. We know that one of them has brought a bit of good news, because the last time these two teams met in the league, Jordan Morris went down with this horrific injury. We thought he wasn't going to feature again this year, and instead he's a late addition to their matchday
it's a
squad.
remarkable recovery, Joanne. That league game, he picked up a significant injury, and he was probably Meath's key marksman in the first part of the league. He was their main forward. His form was top class, so he's a huge addition. I don't think anybody expects him to return this season, and he's back to add that bit of power to that forward line. He's obviously on the bench, and he's obviously back fit, and Robbie Brennan will look to use him.
So that's one bit of additional firepower they can go on. Looking behind us, you look around the middle of field for Meath, and you notice how huge they are. And yet up front, Sean.
Yeah, it's got a real traditional sort of 90s feel to it, where we know the keeper's going to hit it long to these monsters in the middle, but the return of the forward, Joanne, is probably the best way of talking about this. Owen Frayne, at 22 years of age, captain of his county, led them to beat Dublin. We're looking at the clips here in the Dublin game. Costello does a lot of the hard work, and he then leads the ball into Frayne and Conlon. Small stature, brilliant sidesteps. Jinky needs space to operate in. Probably haven't they've arrived at the right time. 10 years ago wouldn't have been the time for a small forward.
There's nothing small about this man.
Well, he's definitely a provider. Matthew Costello is the one that they're going to look for doing all the hard work around the midfield. But the finishing and the predator instincts. Frayne got 11 against Dublin. Conlon got 5. So that's 16 out of 23 coming from two men. They're going to be targeted by Louth, but to win this game, it feels like they're going to need these men stepping up. It's a lot of pressure on a 22-year-old, and Frayne in particular, but he looks like a special talent and looks like a player who's going to kick on from where he's at right now.
Speaking of special talents, they've quite a few of these on the Louth team. Are they able to hurt you in lots of different ways as well?
Yeah, they're well organised, Joanne, particularly in the forward line. They can mix it up. They certainly like hitting that D area and getting a runner. If the space is there in behind, they won't hesitate to kick the ball and move it quickly out of defence. Dublin didn't. Dublin had a running game against Louth. They didn't kick it. Louth, if they get that opportunity, see the brilliant interplay here. McArdle, ball comes across to Conal McKeever, and he's fouled and brought down, and they can also play it slowly. They will be patient as well, wait for that opportunity. They work around the arc. You have the likes of Craig Lennon, who's back now. He'll come from deep. He's going to pop up everywhere, and they're dangerous all around, that they can around that arc. And then this guy, Tommy Jernan, like midfield is going to be crucial today. He's kicked a couple boomers. He kicked one in the league game as well. And then Sam Mulroy, I think this is critical today, Joanne, particularly Freeze, worth 2 points, that he has that range from 50-55 metres that he can pop the ball over the bar. Meath are going to have to be incredibly disciplined in that area, because there's obviously an interesting debate about Meath have an advantage in terms of 2-pointers. They've kicked a lot of them in the championship so far. They have a lot of options in that space. Free kicks, I don't know whether they have that range. He has that extra 10 metres. It's going to be an interesting dimension.
I actually think Mulroy's been one of the top forwards in Ireland for the last 5-6 years. Hasn't really had the credit he probably deserves. I felt it was very sore not to win All-Ireland last year. Today might be today for.
OK, well, let's just get confirmation of the two teams that are going to line out in this Leinster final with Ger Canning.
Thank you, Joanne. We're going to start with Meath, and for the Royals' first Leinster final in 5 years, just 4 of today's starters were included in that 2020 Meath 15, and they include Donald Keoghan and Brian Menton, who today start a 6th provincial decider. Seamus Lavin has returned from Canada, and he starts at cornerback, while the left half back that November evening was Matthew Costello, now part of the inside forward line. The number 7 today is Kieran Caulfield, outstanding in the Sigerson Cup this year with DCU. Joining Costello up top for Meath are James Conlon and skipper Owen Frayne. Conlon tormented the Dubs in the semi-final, while Frayne finished with 11 points. As you've been hearing, Jason Morris has been added to the matchday 26. Louth have now 8 players set to start a 3rd consecutive Leinster final. 2 more, Craig Lennon and Ryan Burns, came on against the Dubs in 2023. Last year, Lennon and of course capped a wonderful year by becoming an all-star. Midfielder Andy MacDonald has returned for the wee county, having played against Meath all of 15 years ago. He lines up alongside Tommy Dernan, who's played in the last 28 championship matches for Louth. Conor Grimes at left half forward scored 4 memorable points in last year's final, while the team is led by Nev Martin's Sam Mulroy, who kicked 7 points in the semi-final win over Kildare. There's one late change for Louth, and that is Bevan Duffy coming in for Paul Matthews. We get in the way here in 5 minutes' time.
Oh, just listen to that noise. It's absolutely brilliant here at Croke Park. Kieran Whelan, you heard Sean talk about the fact that he thinks Sam Mulroy has been one of the best forwards in the country the last few years, underrated. How do Meath deal with him and the threat that he poses, not just in the full forward line, because we know he drifts out and he also is a ball winner.
Yeah, he goes everywhere, and he's actually a very difficult man to pin down and man mark, and I think maybe Sean Rafferty might be given the job, or possibly Seamus Lavin might follow him out the field. I think Craig Lennon is another key one for me to close down, and where they pick one of their forwards maybe to tag him, because the runs that he comes from deep, he creates a lot of problems. Like for me, Joanne, as we touched on, yes, it was a game of control. I think the kickouts are going to be massive here. This could be different, where a team gets momentum and wins 6-7 kickouts in a row. You know, Niall MacDonald's tendency is to go long all the time. There's going to be a massive battle around the middle of the park. Meath have big players in there like Jack Flay and Brian Menton, and obviously Bevan Duffy has come in from Louth to give them a bit of strength around the middle. So it's going to be a massive battle in that central area to gain control of the game.
So it sounds like you're suggesting we could have big swings throughout the course of this game. The 2 pointers, so you two are having a disagreement as to whether or not Croke Park suits 2 pointers. Sean?
I always felt that at Croke Park the goals felt closer. Kieran, and maybe says more about Kieran and his shooting ability. He always felt Croke Park, but the goals felt further away. I always felt the turf being sort of solid, and you knew your footing was right. You're able to kick with longer distance. I know there is a swirling breeze, but we've got some fantastic kickers on display today, and I am expecting the 2 pointers to be a factor.
I just think, Joanne, in some of the county grounds, the wind has played more of a factor. The wind can swirl here in Croke Park. It's fairly dead here today. You won't have that strength of the wind. It might be a little bit more difficult, but they still will play an important factor. If one or two of the teams get 2 or 3 2-pointers, it's going to be a big swing.
We keep talking about all these various different factors that could come into play, but when it comes down to it, more often than not, if you stick to the pressure, it comes down to who is the better set of players, the better team. Who is it, Sean?
Well, in recent times, Louth have won the last 4 games between these two sides. Louth has had 15 years of hurt. I think Louth have the more experienced players, so logic would tell you Louth, but Meath will probably do it.
It was brilliant to see. Look, you can see Sam Mulroy there with the sheer focus on the faces on Matthew Costello having a smile as well. This is so different to anything these players have dealt with at all.
This is what Leinster finals used to be and probably should be about, and we haven't had this for a long time, and it's just, as we said at the start of the programme, Joanne, it's a brilliant occasion. This is the biggest day of their career, a lot of the players' careers, and 2 evenly matched teams. You know, again, I kind of think Louth have a lot going for them. They're very, very organised, but Meath have been streaky, and if Meath hit form and Meath settle, particularly their forward line, and get their scoring ratio high up, they could be extremely dangerous.
Now, there weren't that many of them playing back in 2020 when they were in their last Leinster final. Meath, Dublin went at one stage against them 2-10 without reply, so that's their last experience, and yet many of these players would have played in the Tailteann Cup.
Yeah, and that Tailteann Cup experience will be very different to what's happening right now. We can hardly hear ourselves in here. The place is rocking. So forget about all past games. This is going to take on a life of its own.
It has already taken on a life of its own. I hope what is happening here on the pitch and in the stadium translate across to you at home. It is incredible. Let's head up to our commentary team here. Desi Dolan is with Ger.
Thank you, Joanne. Yes, all set for the 46th ever championship meeting of Meath and Louth. Meath ahead in terms of championship wins, 21-18, with 6 drawn matches. And before the match now gets underway, there's going to be a moment's reflection to think back and reflect on the lives of some people who passed away recently. First of all, we're thinking of Marie Claire Rogers from the Neath Borough and St Anne's area of County Louth. Marie Claire Rogers was a much-loved player whose dedication to her club and community left a lasting impression. Sadly, she passed away recently. Heartfelt sympathy to her family. While recently Meath GAA lost a wonderful young supporter, 12-year-old Tom Lynch from Crossakeel. Young Tom was a member of the Ballinlough club. Although wheelchair-bound, he was a great supporter of all in sport, particularly Gaelic football, and he acted as a club mascot. Greatly missed by his family, his school pals, and everyone who knew Tom. And also on a day like today, we greatly miss the company of the late Brendan Cummins, former Meath PRO and well-known broadcaster in Louth and Meath radio. Yesh love day, gareva nonam laka galer, agus anish, out on the veal. The atmosphere is absolutely gripping. It's special, it's emotional. This is the 138th Leinster football final. Meath going for a 22nd provincial win, Louth seeking a 9th. In charge this afternoon, Martin McNally from Monaghan. His line officials, Paul Falloon from Down and James Malloy from Galway. The sideline official is Enda McFeely from Donegal. Alongside me, I've got Desi Dolan. What are you thinking of right now? The atmosphere is brilliant.
It's absolutely incredible. The Leinster Championship was much maligned in recent times, was in the doldrums, but certainly the sense of occasion here is incredible. Both sets of supporters. It offers hope and an opportunity for both sets of players, Louth and Meath, and with the opportunity to win that Delaney Cup.
Louth have beaten Meath in their last two competitive matches. This year in the league, last year in the championship. But this is about winning the Delaney Cup and being Leinster champions for 2025. And Meath getting their hands on the ball immediately, and their left half-back, Kieran Caulfield, carrying it forward here. Conor Duke taking up responsibility, and now Donald Keoghan playing today in his 58th championship match. Swinging it over here as far as Matthew Costello. He's had a very good campaign so far, holding on to it. Playing it back here into the middle here to give possession to Rory Kinsella, young player, 21 years of age. Conor Duke, another 21-year-old. So it's all Meath then in the opening minute, just retaining possession. Louth getting their structure back, their defensive formation in shape, trying to deny an outside shot. Brian Menton, delighted to be back playing in a Leinster final again. Once more Kinsella, back to Conor Duke. And this Meath side has a pretty good record of getting shots on target from outside. So far in the championship, they've hit 16 outside shots for 2-pointers. Still working hard, still trying to see if there's one possible shot that they can get on target, but that one, has it gone?
Just narrowly wide, I think, but he's coming back for the mark that was called earlier on. Pass inside, was inside at 21, so Martin McNally is given the mark.
James Conlon there, the player who was in possession just a moment ago, and coming over to take this will be Owen Frayne, I think. This is it again here. The advantage had been allowed. So James Conlon had the shot in, but right now it is Meath and Owen Frayne, their captain, just 22 years of age, as this chance, angle is tight. Whatever breeze there is blowing right now is in Meath's favour for the opening 35 minutes. The man who took or won the mark must take it. The referee has just told Owen Frayne, so that means that Keith Curtis is going to have to come across and have a go at this. 5 points in the campaign so far for him. Young player, just in his 6th ever championship outing. So now giving himself a little run up to this. Difficult angle. Can he make it? Can he put Meath in front straight away? Way up into the air anyway.
Just looked a little bit uncomfortable.
Wasn't the happiest, and now it is Louth's turn to take it out of defence here. Mulroy back there helping out. Conor Grimes then leaving it there as far as Craig Lennon. Here's Peter Lynch. Back towards Lennon once again. What a great year he had last year. 4 goals and 7 points scored from play in championship action as Louth reached the All-Ireland quarter-finals. Forward again goes Peter Lynch from the Roche Emmets Club near Dundalk. Louth's turn now to try and build up a scoring opportunity. Sam Mulroy centrally involved inevitably, and Craig Lennon. 2 players from whom Louth fans were expecting great things today. Here's a 2-point attempt. That's gone to the left, however, from Sam Mulroy. First wide of the match.
Yeah, just interesting to see Sam Mulroy is drifting out around the middle of the pitch, going from centre forward out to midfield there. And just to note as well, Donald McKenny is picking up Jamie Conlon, so that should be a very interesting battle. Donald McKenny is an extremely tight and tenacious defender.
A real old-style cornerback, if you ask me. Rory Kinsella leaving it out there for Seamus Lavin, the man who spent 4 years working in Canada. Welcome back into the Meath fold. Very much part of their championship team this year. Lots of pace here in this. The full-back going forward. Sean Rafferty. Down into the corner to Curtis, who had that mark a little while back. And the referee told him he was the one who had to take it. Stripped of possession by Dermot Campbell. Good defending work there by Campbell from the Dreadnoughts Club in Clogherhead. Out it comes with Conall McKeever. Got a goal in the last match. Semi-final victory there for them in Tullamore against Kildare. Darren Neary. Switched across by McKeever as far as Mulroy. Wayne may wear number 14. You can just see where he's playing. Both sides trying to get that vital early edge. Mulroy again now. On his left-hand side, he's got Conor Grimes, should he wish to use him. Grimes moving inside. The ball going inside as well. Retained in there. McCardle back as far as Grimes. Trying to get by 2 defenders in there. An opportunity maybe for Ryan Burns, and Burns fires over the opening point of the Leinster final.
Yeah, we talked about the game being a bit nervy. Obviously it was difficult to get the score, but Ryan Burns turned very quickly. Very efficient player. Not all came from that turnover. Great tackle by Dermot Campbell, and ended up in a score by Ryan Burns.
He'll be absolutely delighted with that. He was a sub in the last 2 finals against Dublin. He gets to start today, and Ryan Burns laying down a marker immediately. Big huge kick out, big grab for possession there, but it's won back by Meath and by Jack Flynn, the player who had a marvellous game here 2 years ago. I remember in the Taunton Cup final, kicked 4 points that afternoon from play. Conor Duke back as far as Frayne. Had been lined up for a first free kick, but it didn't quite materialise a little while back. They move through the centre again. It's Kinsella once more, looking to level it up. He's done exactly that. Good start to the game, good pace, good movement. 2 good scores.
Yeah, Rory Kinsella is a very influential player for Meath, and that's a great kick off the left foot. But you can see the way Louth are trying to defend that zone in front of the arc, that big arc there in front of the goals. That's they're going in there zonally and trying to defend that.
Gesticulating to his colleagues further out the field, then the Louth goalkeeper Niall MacDonald targeting the middle of the field, and Tommy Dernan battling to try and win it as well. That dirty ball, the referee decides it's not going to come out in a hurry. Referee deciding against his better judgment. He's going to have to hop the ball. Very experienced official Martin McNally for Monaghan. And Meath come away with it, and it's Jack Flynn looking around now, getting space for himself, getting away from Andy MacDonald, his marker. Down it goes towards James Conlon. In the last championship match, he didn't score last year in the round robin. Looking to try and put that right in this one. Accidental collision involving Conlon, so play continues, and they reach Matthew Costello. Costello taking on McKeever. Helped out here by Duke, but pulling that one rather badly. First wide of the match by Meath. Still Point apiece.
Yeah.
Nearly 7 minutes gone.
And Meath have 16 two-pointers in the championship already, and it's certainly something that we look into. There's a slight breeze at their advantage, but that is a missed opportunity, you would say.
Against Louth, Desi, who only have 3 2 points, I think, from their first 2 matches in this year's campaign. So Meath, the ones who tend to use that 2-point option a good deal more. Frey booting it in, taken on by Curtis. Loose ball in there. McKennie coming out, attacking it, making sure. Very secure defending. Dernan getting involved. Out as far as Grimes once again. Change of direction for him. Goes past Kinsella. There's movement ahead if he wants to use it. MacDonald coming across. It wasn't the best of passes, and I think there was a foot pass on for Conor Grimes, which he didn't use. And the solo and goal has been taken by Meath and Brian Menton. Down it comes towards Owen Frayne. Slipping it into the centre here. Once again, it's Costello, about to be challenged there by Kieran Downey. Got the hand in, then Dermot Campbell came and took the ball back. That's the second possession won by Campbell.
It's one thing about Louth, they're very organised defensively, and if you go into them on your own without support, you're going to lose that ball and turn over, and that's a couple of times Meath have been turned over already. Once more, it's Sam O'Roy. On as far as Kieran Downey, a very intuitive player, making things happen for Louth in the championship. Nicely ahead here, and this is the man who's just come in today, Bevan Duffy, and Bevan Duffy gets the second point of the match, first of the day for him. Louth lead by 2 points to 1. Yeah, and Kieran Downey top assister for Louth, but you can see that all again came from the turnover, and a great score by Bevan Duffy.
And from that kick out, it's Peter Lynch who won it, gives it to Kieran Downey. Summing up just what was on here, switching the direction across towards Craig Lennon again. A man who could make so many things happen for this Louth side. Current All-Star. Soloing forward, taking on Sean Rafferty. Leaving it there for Ryan Burns to try and swing it in. But he swings it poorly. And that's the second miss already by Louth.
Yeah, the battleground around midfield will be so important. Now there's 57 kickouts from Billy Hogan. 14 short, 17 to mid-range and 28 long. So it's a good variety in his kick.
Hogan gets it out here as far as Brian O'Halloran. Madden thank him because there were 3 Louth players ready to take him on. Sean Coffey takes the free kick quickly out as far as Caulfield. And the man from Trim able to carry it forward here now. Bevan Duffy, the nearest Louth player to him. Keith Curtis flicking it forward. That's Owen Frayne taking it on from the edge of the arc and nicely over, but off the hands of the goalkeeper, and it gets a white flag. A 1-pointer for Owen Frayne. Yeah, 2 points apiece.
We've seen it last weekend in the Connacht final. It's an interesting one. It could have been 2 points by Frayne, and a vital touch there by the goalkeeper.
MacDonald then from the kick out here, locating Craig Lennon from the St. Moctus club. Louth's second ever All-Star, in difficulty there, real difficulty, and about to be punished. Coffey getting it in as far as James Conlon. Conlon switching it, back out it comes to Frayne again, retaining possession and his composure. Costello trying to go by Conal McKeever, then having to go diving in after that one, and the referee says it was a push, and the push was by the cornerback Donald McKennie, and the free kick is going to be to Meath.
Good play by Meath, good pressure. Niall MacDonald has went short twice only in the 2 games, out with 37 kickouts, so it just shows you it went short, and Craig Lennon, the player that's normally so reliable, lost in possession.
Real daring work by Matthew Costello to make absolutely sure that he seemed to have lost it, and then went in to make sure it wasn't going to be an easy possession for Louth. So here's the chance for Owen Frayne. Denied a 2-pointer by the goalkeeper's hands a moment ago, but he can get a 1-pointer here. And should. Another white flag for him. Meath fans delighted. They're ahead by 3 points to 2. MacDonald again having a quick look around now. Vast Croke Park. Huge throng of people here today. Biggest crowd for quite some time in a Leinster final. Conal McKeever darting through 3, 4, 5 Meath players bouncing after off him and in him. He's still got it, and then he has to drop it, and he holds on too long.
Yeah, you can hear the support. There's a great turnover by Meath, great discipline. It looked like the gap had opened for Colin McKeever. He was going for it, and he was swallowed up by the Meath defence.
Well, those who were expecting a pretty cautious start to this game, it's been anything but. They've been going at it, both teams. Very positive. Costello now taking it forward here from Dunshaughlin, county champions. Won the title back last year after a gap of some 22 years in Meath. Inside it goes as far as Curtis. Slipped back out to Jack Flynn from Ratoath. Duke. Coming forward here now is Donald Keogan. Man who's served Meath so well over many a year. Slipping it there as far as Curtis, then moving inside, trying to beat the attempted block, but the blocks did well, and that's very good defensive cover again by Louth.
Louth are a team that built a lot of experience, coming from Division 4 into Division 2, but this is their third Leinster final in a row. They're very steady, they know how to play football, they're very organised, and some great defence play already.
Mulroy. Well, they've got it out into the middle of the field. The defensive part of their game is working smoothly. Now it's Tommy Dernan looking to try and set up the next scoring opportunity. Kind of a slow, quick, slow build-up. Mulroy, 16 points scored by him in the last two Leinster finals. Tommy Dernan from St Mary's in RD. Bending down to collect that one, getting it smartly there is Kieran McCardle. Back it comes again to Ryan Burns, one of their scorers. Peter Lynch ready to carry it out. Meath quite content to let them have possession back outside the 45-metre line. And now Sam Mulroy tries to inject a bit of pace, maybe with the help of Conor Grimes. It's up into the air. Going to land dangerously down in the square there. Problems could be there for the Meath defenders, but they did well, and Brian O'Halloran caught that one. It was Menton who punched it outside, and it's taken away by Seamus Lavin. Good combination there by the Meath players to mind their goal and to bring it away smartly. Flynn forward as far as Matt Costello once again. Out on this near side there were a couple of Meath players waiting for possession. Owen Frayne, one of them. Rory Kinsella swinging it over once more as far as Brian Menton, back in the squad this year after a 2-year hiatus. Frayne again. Now the turn of Jack Flynn to see what he can do. Looking to try and punch a hole or two in that Louth cover. Conor Duke.
It's a little bit cagey here, Ger. We've seen it with Louth in that situation, but certainly again.
Well, that's understandable. They were hardly going to go at the pace they were at in the earlier minutes. Yeah. Nearly 15 minutes into the contest. Brian Menton from Donaghmore Ashburn. Kieran Caulfield has had a spell in the forward, so whether it's at wing back or at number 10 in the Meath team, he's very much comfortably at home in either position. Rory Kinsella again, waiting for Jack Flynn, looking to try and get the next scoring opportunity, put themselves 2 ahead if they can. Transferred smartly again to Menton.
Just defending outside that arc, making it difficult for Meath to get the 2-pointers that we've seen them get 16 so far in the championship, but certainly it's difficult for Meath.
Well, this will be a 1-pointer if Conor Duke can make it, and he's put it to the right, and it's their second wide of the game after all of that. Big build-up, but it didn't quite happen in the end. Louth were victorious last year in the All-Ireland round robin, winning by 3-10 to 9 points, and they had a couple of goals that day by Samuel Roy and Craig Lennon, who got 2-1. Robbie Brennan, who's done a super job building up this side again. Battle of the Brennans on the sideline with Ger Brennan for Louth and Robbie Brennan for Meath. That's touched on, and it should be securely in the possession of Donald Keogan again. Confidently taking it forward here now. McKenny is in front of him of Louth. Then it's James Conlon. Quick feet, moving smoothly. Gets up on his feet again after he's fouled. And now the referee decides no advantage coming. So it's got to be a free in.
Yeah, Andy McDonald lunged in there. You can see Jamie Conlon is low centre of gravity, but he came in there hard with the arm out, and you'd say that's certainly a free. Martin McNally was correct in that decision, but it's an opportunity for a 2-pointer here.
And the goalkeeper coming forward, offering his services. Billy Hogan, 3 points in championship football up to now. Plays for Longwood. His brother Harry was the Meath goalkeeper before him. So this is on the 45-metre line, kind of a conventional 45. A little bit of breeze behind him. Catches it, but it's going inside, yes. 2-pointer by Billy Hogan. Very, very important contribution that. And now 5 points to 2. Meath are in front.
Yeah, and that's what Meath live for, them 2-pointers. Great score there and great composure by Billy Hogan.
Costello coming to jump for this one. He got enough on it, and then they were anticipating, and Conor Dukes there able to pick it up.
And Meath doing well on the Louth kick out at the minute. They're a big physical presence out there. Certainly one of the bigger teams in the country.
Louth were also pretty slow to start in their semi-final win over Kildare. It took them a while to get into their stride properly. Kieran Caulfield, like Meath against Dublin, they had a very good start there in that one. And now James Conlon puts it wide.
Poor miss. Great play by Caulfield. Set him up perfectly for Conlon to knock it over the bar. He's on a tight, tenacious defender in Donald McKenny, but he'd be disappointed.
In case you didn't hear earlier on, we got the news that Jordan Morris has been added to the matchday 26 for Meath. We may well see him play. He got injured against Louth in the league match, which was played in March. And that's gone out over the sideline in spite of the best efforts of Andy MacDonald. So more pressure on the Louth defence once again. Didn't work out for Niall MacDonald that time. Conor Duke ready to take it forward again now, build on what they've achieved so far. Donald Keogan. Menton having a go. That wasn't his best. The keeper was trying to keep it in play and prevent him having to take a kick out, but anyway, it's a fourth wide.
We've talked about this a little bit in terms of the 2-pointers in Croke Park. It will be more difficult. This is obviously the first opportunity in the championship to see teams apply the new rules. But
why do you think it's more difficult?
I just
here?
think in Croke Park with the Hill 16 open, there's a swirl that you don't get in other venues that just creates a little bit difficult. Obviously the orientation, it takes a second longer to get your shot away to find the post, and it always does appear a little bit closer with the crowd. So certainly the opportunity really is on place balls, but from play it might be a little bit more difficult in Croke Park.
Worth keeping an eye on. Craig Lennon leaving it back here for Kieran Downey. Just 2 points so far for Louth, scored by Ryan Burns and by Bevan Duffy. Sam Mulroy, from whom great things are expected, does a full pirouette there. Pass didn't work out initially. It might now for Andy MacDonald. MacDonald, they can swing the boot to it, or Dernan. That was McCardle. He was pulled back, and it's a penalty. A penalty for Louth.
Big call.
Coming after 19.5 minutes.
See it here
again here.
Tommy Dernan passed it in. It's minimal enough contact.
Very minimal, yeah, it is.
Like in the game, it's physical. He was falling back when he was taking the shot. I just feel that there was hands there. There was a little bit of a push, but in the context of...
Well, the referee has given it. Donald Keogan was the one who was penalised. Meath ultimately penalised. Louth haven't scored since the 9th minute, so 10 minutes have gone since they got their last score. Sam Mulroy with 5 championship goals already. Will it be a 6th? It will.
Big score for Louth. Sam Mulroy, real quality player, and that's what he does. That's why he's so highly rated. In the big moments, he comes up with the scores. A brilliant finish.
Teams are level for the 3rd time. Mulroy's penalty perfectly positioned. Keogan, who gave that one away with the foul, all the way over here as far as Brian O'Halloran. Well, it's lifted Louth spirits, you may be absolutely sure. Kieran Caulfield now out as far as Kinsella, having been 3 up. Turned back here as far as Sean Coffey. Switched to Keith Curtis, looking to squeeze it in, and I think he's done just enough. Good point by Keith Curtis. Good response immediately to the concession of that penalty goal, and it pushes Meath back into the lead again.
Great response and great composure by Keith Curtis. He obviously missed an earlier mark inside the 21 previously, so showing great confidence there and a great finish.
Beautifully dispatched penalty there by Sam Mulroy. Keeper went one way, ball went the other, as you could see. And here's Mulroy again, directing operations right in the middle of the park. Conal McKeever. Over here to Dermot Campbell, championship player over the past 5 years, Campbell. Turn back. Controlling it, Conal McKeever. and has played in every championship game played by Louth over the last 22 championship matches. Quite a record, similar to that of Tommy Dernan. Bevan Duffy got the call up to start in place of Paul Matthews. Matthews among the subs. Peter Lynch, Mulroy. MacDonald now looking to lay siege on that Meath goal once again. Inside towards the wily and crafty Kieran Downey. Back out as far as Mulroy again. Taken in here by McArdle. He's the player who was fouled for the penalty a little while back. This time fouled by Costello.
Yeah, you see Matty Costello coming in. Picked up a yellow, but seems a little bit harsh, the yellow. Such an important player for Meath, obviously.
First yellow card of the match, issued by match referee Martin McNally.
Just interesting to note the role of Sam Mulroy out around the middle, dictating the play. He's generally free, getting on a lot of ball, but creating a lot of good opportunities for his teammates.
And he will take this free kick. He has a mighty thumper of a football from a distance out. Now the angle here, tricky enough for a right-footed kicker. This to level up the game again. And the umpire goes straight for the white flag. And the point goes with the penalty goal that Sam Mulroy got earlier on. And the teams are level again here. 4 times now they've been level.
Yeah, Sean Kavanagh mentioned he's one of the best player forwards in the country. He certainly is. That's an incredible kick there. It showed his qualities, kicking the ball straight at the goal.
Costello touched it down, but only to the waiting Conall McKeever of Louth. Now Louth suddenly lifted in the last moment or two, playing with a bit more confidence and urgency. Mulroy slowing it down again now as I say it. Peter Lynch. Referee has just told the players none of the grappling and hands on and hands off. He wants them to just play in a very sporting manner. That's the ideal. Mulroy back here into the centre as far as Craig Lennon. Peter Lynch. Lennon's able to carry it forward here now. There's a gap. Nobody to challenge him closely immediately, and it's still Lennon going forward. Transferred here, and that's another one. And it's Ryan Burns. A second Louth goal, a 4th in the championship for Ryan Burns, and it comes after 24 minutes, and Louth lead the Leinster final by 3 to 6 points. This is where he gathered it. He gathered pace in that shot as well, and beat Billy Hogan, the keeper, beaten for the second time after 24 minutes.
What a goal, but what a run by Craig Lennon. He's such a dangerous player. It's the reason he's an all-star. His quality, he's so elusive, it's hard to get hands on him. Set up Ryan Burns, and a brilliant finish, low and hard, beating Billy Hogan.
Ryan Kinsella now and Meath have a bit of work to do. 3 points in arrears. Back out it comes to James Conlon, trying to produce some moments of trickery and magic inside there. Costello went for it, but it was fisted back out immediately there by Peter Lynch. Back out as far as the second goal scorer, Ryan Burns. Held on to here by Conor Grimes. Having lost the last 2 Leinster finals, these Louth players don't want to leave Jones's Road today without that Delaney Cup in their possession.
And we
long way to go.
Yeah, against Kildare, Louth were slow start, but certainly they've built their way in the game, and that's what Louth have become. They've become a very steady, very reliable team, and they're always thereabouts in big matches.
And the manager, Ger Brennan, will take a lot of the credit for that. His second year in charge, and another Leinster final appearance. Back it comes here to Conall McKeever. Calling for it on this near side is Andy MacDonald. Andy actually played against Ger Brennan in the championship back in 2010. It was in the qualifiers, and he played number 11. Ger Brennan was number 6, and Andy scored that day. Just a point. Here's Bevan Duffy. Back out towards Kieran Downey. Mulroy. And now they're at that stage where they can just slow it down, frustrate Meath a little bit. Change of direction by Mulroy, being challenged by Donald Keoghan. Now carried on by the energetic Tommy Dernan, hoofing this one in and up to the left and wide. A third miss by a Louth player. Stays 2-3 to 6 points.
See that finish there by Ryan Burns. He's not the first time he's done that for Louth. A great player, great finish. But Tommy Dernan again, a very experienced player on the left foot, missing narrowly.
And it's interesting, he did score one of his goals earlier on, Ryan Burns, from a penalty against Laois, but that was a day when Sam Mulroy wasn't playing, so he got the chance to take the penalty that day. Rory Kinsella now for Meath, looking to get back into the groove once again. Stung certainly by the concession of that Ryan Burns goal a little while back. Sean Rafferty to Frayne. 2 points already against his name, one of them from open play. Challenged vigorously outside there by Kieran Downey, making sure there was no chance of a 2-point shot from near the arc. Louth defenders are out very, very quickly, alert to any possibility like that. Sean Rafferty now from the Nafiana in Meath, ready to try and take it forward, helped out by James Connellan against McKenny. You get nothing easily against the Louth defenders, and James Connellan is finding that out today.
Yeah, Donald McKenny is tight, tenacious. He's a traditional tough defender. He gets in your face, plenty of chat, and Jamie Connellan is not getting the space and room that he got last week, or against Dublin, sorry.
Yeah. Conor Grimes bringing it back out now, and MacDonald hadn't played championships since 2019 when he came back to join the Louth panel this year. Great to see him back. I'm sure he has his memories, as many of us have, of the 2010 meeting here, which was a great sporting occasion and very dramatic, of course, and controversial at the very end. Dermot Campbell moving it in here to Samuel Roy, the Nave Martin player. Switch there, difficult one to retain. Wasn't the greatest of passes by Mulroy, and it now allows Meath to try and take it out, and the foul is committed there and taken away very quickly by Owen Frayne. That solo and go has changed everything. The fresh rules have changed everything. It's much more enjoyable. The crowd's back, the entertainment back. Jack Flynn. Meath players calling for it. Switch back as far as Brian Menton. 33 years of age now, hoping at the end of this to be the winner of a Leinster medal. There's a nasty clash there, and Curtis was the Meath player involved, maybe Dermot Campbell. Yeah, it was Dermot Campbell who just collided there with Keith Curtis. And correctly, Martin McNally has stopped the game, stopped the clock as well.
Yeah, it's the lifeline. Meath are struggling to break down that Louth defence. They're very tenacious, just a yard or two outside the arc, making sure they're not getting their 2-pointers. But simple frees like that from an experienced defender like Dermot Campbell is probably a cheap free to give away for an experienced team.
Joe Brennan there having a word. Once again, we look at this penalty scored by Sam Mulroy. And then that second smart and smashing goal by Ryan Burns after the good work by Craig Lennon earlier on. Louth fans in celebratory mood. Dermot Campbell's okay, able to continue. So there is a free kick coming up after all of that. It'll be to Meath. Chance to chip away a point from that Louth lead. Once again, it'll be Owen Frayne who will take it. 11th championship match today for him. That's his angle. They need it. The Louth crowd making a bit of a noise to try and put him off, but he wasn't put off, and he's got his third. And the 22-year-old captain doing well for Meath. About 7 minutes or so to go to half-time.
Just thinking, like against Dublin, Matthew Costello was so influential, James Connellan was so influential, and we just haven't seen them put the big influence on the game that they had against Dublin. So Meath will be looking for them to show that bit of leadership.
Well, they had difficulties last year in the round robin, as I mentioned earlier, against Meath and against that defence. Right now it's Sean Rafferty coming out. Good timing, good judgment on his part. Gets it out as far as the very steady Donald Keoghan. Soloing forward here, looking to try and make this attack count. Conor Duke turned back as far as Kinsella again. Winding himself up for a two-pointer, steady as you like. Wonderful shot by Rory Kinsella. 3 for the day for him. And the teams are level 5 times now.
Great play by Sean Rafferty back in defence, turning over that ball, but that's a great score from distance and two-pointer. It had different complexion on the score very quickly with the two-pointers.
I think Louth will be a little bit annoyed that they gave Kinsella that much space, however. There was nobody in his face.
It's the first time in the half we've seen that space Louth afford, but
that's a fabulous catch. Jack Flynn quickly on here. As far as Kinsella again, switched inside. On as far as Conlon, over. James Conlon gets his first point of the match. It's all switched around. Meath lead now by 10 points to 2 goals and 3, 10-9.
That's what Meath have at the midfield. They have big, powerful men, and they can get it. And the midfield is such a battleground nowadays. Clean possession, it provides good opportunities.
Great contest. Andy McDonald goes out there to try and win that against 2 Meath players who are trying to force him to hold on too long. He has to give it away. Sean Coffey from Ballinabrackey picks it up for Meath. Leaves it inside here. The shot is on target. And another fabulous point, this time by Sean Coffey, the centre half back. All of a sudden Meath get 2 in a row and they're 2 points in front.
And all the pressure is coming on Niall MacDonald to get his kick out away, and we've seen it time and time again. The new rules, the kick out's so important. He's looking for an overload. He's trying to bring it back to basics, get the numbers in there, get a 50-50 contest and see can he get possession.
Well, you've been in management. Coaches love the certainty of being able to control what's happening in kickouts. We fans love what's happening. It's uncontrollable stuff.
Absolutely. I suppose the predictability of matches has gone out the window nowadays, where teams they don't have the safety net of that short kick out anymore.
So much more fun. That's in there by Downey, and Downey taking it back again. Still Downey, and Meath managed to hold on to it, get the ball under control. Downey's on the deck still.
He took contact.
He'll need attention.
It'll be very interesting to see that one again.
Seamus Lavin switched it back here, back as far as Brian Menton. Wholehearted stuff by both sets of players. Great credit due to everyone. Sean Rafferty soloing forward now, full of endeavour, full of energy. Rory Kinsella, who's got a last 2-pointer there, 3 points in all. He's going for a single one this time. Is it on target? It is. It's another beauty.
Again, all coming from Kieran Downey, losing possession. The ball ended up to Kinsella, and that's a great score by Meath, and they're having a real purple patch at the minute.
The kick out there put Dermot Campbell in difficulty. Referee saw the foul, allowed them to get it out and then turn it over. That turnover is causing major problems. Difficulty once again for the Louth defence. This time it is Owen Frayne. A series of scores now. Frayne getting this one. 7 without reply by Meath. 13 points to 2 goals and 3. They lead with about 2.5 to go to half time.
And a worrying spell for Louth. This is very uncharacteristic of them. Normally so assured, so safe in possession, but right now they're experiencing a real wobbly spell.
Once again the kick out so important here. He's gone short. He's tried it to the flanks. He's looking for the certainty, and there's no certainty any longer in the kick out situation. It's got to be won, and it's been won by Conor Grimes. Magnificently done. Grimes now go, referee said. The mark has to be immediately. Yeah. He's telling Conor Grimes, retake it from where it was awarded. And back it goes as far as Peter Lynch. Again, the referees had a quiet little word there with Conor Grimes and reminds him that it has to be instantly done. Sam Mulroy turning it back here as far as Conal McKeever, looking to be more of a factor in this match. A few more likewise.
And 5 scores for Louth in the first half so far is probably not the rate that they'd want. It's been 10 minutes since they got a score, so they'll be looking for their experienced players to get in possession and try to build a score before half-time.
Craig Lennon. Sam Mulroy again. Got on a point for him in this opening half. But they're looking now to try and maybe get that last score. Give themselves a little bit more just before we head into half-time. Lennon again. Lennon striking! Oh, what a goal! What a superb goal. Absolutely brilliant. 3-3 to 13 points. That's a 1 point difference. Where did that come from? The All-Star came through and a thundering shot into the corner of the net. Absolutely superb. It's a lifeline for Louth approaching half-time. So little between them. What a match, Desi.
And that's what Craig Lennon does. If you give him time and space, he's so elusive. He sees gaps, he gets through. But what a finish from distance. He backed himself. And he's got 4 goals last year in the Championship. That's an exceptional goal.
It's his 5th ever in the Championship. It's some goal, and there's the hooter. So we're going to continue now until the ball goes out of play. It's still Meath by 1 point. Can they take a little bit more with them to the break? Wonderfully entertaining. Conor Duke into the corner here. Costello looked at the target. He's going for it. Inside it goes, and the ball has gone wide. And that is half-time here at Croke Park. At the end of 35 minutes of highly entertaining football provided by Meath and by Louth. So much to cheer about. That fabulous goal by Craig Lennon there at the very end. There was a penalty goal as well for Sambo Roy. There was another for Ryan Burns. There was also some fabulous stuff by Meath. They were on a roll at one stage, getting 7 points in a row. So they still have that 1 point advantage coming in at half-time here. It's some match in this year's Leinster final at Croke Park. This is how it stands. It's Meath 13 points, Louth 3 goals and 3. We're back with Joanne and her panel right after this.
SuperValu believe in community, and community includes everyone.
The Irish state owns and is responsible for thousands of properties. Among this vast collection are the National Historic Properties.
Most buildings, like a good poem, work on different levels.
This is an island for a rock star.
Dublin Castle. The narrative has changed, and it's one that should open us up to the future and not tie us to the past.
Hey! I'll be back in a second. Oh, you love them.
Be sweeter than the sweetest with the new Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection.
I don't care what the weatherman says when the weatherman says it's raining. You'll never hear me complaining. I'm certain
this planet, it's what every business has in common, and it needs every one of us to become more sustainable. AIB can help with practical knowledge and support from our Green Living Hub. AIB, for the life you're after.
Full fibre broadband from just €35 a month for 12 months with 99.9% reliability. Now that's smooth.
I'll exchange these beans for your cow.
Hi everyone. Bit of a desperate plea here. My son Jack has lost his favourite bunny rabbit. Jack's autistic. He's lost without it, and so are we. Apparently it's been discontinued. So if anybody has this rabbit, get in touch. Please.
Where is it? Over the light.
Let's open it. Let's open it.
Exactly the same as Bunny, isn't it? He's not mine.
Ready for a new adventure?
Fingers crossed.
Thanks.
Some packages carry more than their contents. Unpost, making better happen.
Limits will reach for the sky. No valley too deep, no mountain too high.
This is no ordinary crossover. New Nissan Qashqai. Defy ordinary.
We all want better value energy, which is probably the reason more people switched to us last year than any other energy provider. Join them by switching today and you'll get 30% off your electricity and enjoy a €125 welcome credit. Don't miss out on this great deal for your home energy. Simply go to sscelectricity.com. SSE Electricity. This is Generation Green.
I was so glad she arrived.
This girl was going to help us.
She was Mary Poppins.
Everything that she said was a lie.
Serial fraudster Samantha Cooks.
Harry Jade Williams.
Lucy Fitzwilliam.
She's gone from tone to tone. Pure con artist.
It was all lies. I just went.
I slept with a hatchet beside my bed.
Who have we had looking after our children?
A new two-part documentary, Bad Nanny. Monday at 9:35 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
As we predicted before throw-in, this has been another enthralling provincial final like we saw yesterday, except it hasn't been anything like we saw yesterday, but it has been exciting to the same degree. Louth with only 6 scores in an opening half of football, and yet they managed to have 3-3 on the board, but they are trailing Meath 13 points to 3-3. Kieran, just maybe try to take us through. Did Louth just attack the goal? Is that why they ended up with that? And did they deserve the first one?
Well, I think, listen, they've certainly gone for goals. A very strange half that Meath will feel they controlled a lot of that half, but Louth have got the goals, and that's what's crucial here. Tommy Durnan gets a hand pass in, and Kieran McCardle, as he's striking the ball, Donald Keogh comes across him. Now I think the last replay we see clearly shows that he pushes him just as he's about to strike the ball.
Is that
I
a
think
foul
it's a penalty.
Is that a foul in the middle of the pitch, Sean Kavanagh? Do you think that's a penalty?
It is a penalty. It has to be. Look there, just right there. Look, he pushes him just as he's not able to strike the ball. It has to be a penalty.
I'm sure Kieran's a referee now, apparently. Look, it's one of those ones I think a lot of referees don't give that because the player has been given the chance to shoot. And yeah, there's contact there. Is there enough to make it a penalty? It's hard to say. But
well, it's either a foul or it's not, surely.
But the other one, Joanne, obviously, listen, the brilliant finish by Ryan Burns. But we spoke before the match about who was Louth's key player. Craig Lennon running from deep. The one player they needed to track. The one player they needed to watch. And, you know, here's a perfect example. While Meath controlled a lot of that half, Robbie Brennan's in there thinking, how did we let this happen? How did we let him come down the heart of the defence? He's the man that can break that gain line, and what a finish.
It is very clever, though, from Louth. When you watch it, a lot of the Louth forwards all congregate inside the box, leaving that middle sector open for Lennon to make those breaks. So, and we saw one actually, they missed a chance. It was very similar where 7 or 8 Louth players got inside the box, created a space, and someone had a shot and went wide. So you can see the hallmarks of good coaching in the middle of Louth as well.
Yeah, like they're creating that space, but the one man they got to be looking for is Craig Lennon coming through that deep. He done it against Kildare. He was, easily come forward.
That's Louth in attack, but of course Meath had all those nervy starts in this game. And then they got it together in this 5-minute spell, Sean.
Yeah, the reality is, look, Meath has dominated this game. Louth have 6 scores. Meath have had 18 shots. They were kind of rocked by the Louth goals, but then they come rallying back, and you can see some of the fetches from Flynn in midfield was brilliant. The movement up front here with Frayne and Conlon on this occasion wrapping around, and they really had Louth on the ropes for this 6-minute period. Just dominating midfield, movement up front, and whilst Louth in the beginning of the game were very good, turning the ball over, congregating, getting around, being that defensive shape we know they have for that 5 or 6 minutes, Kieran.
Yeah,
Meath really got on top
I
of
think
them.
really, that's the part that Meath will be puzzled by, that they kind of control. They started probably the better team, and they certainly had that period where they got that momentum. And Louth have had problem with their kickouts. They're putting a lot of kickouts down this left-hand side under the Hogan stand, and Niall MacDonald is that little bit one-dimensional, and that's where they got that platform and just got that period of momentum where they kicked 6 points.
There is only that single point in it. There could be plenty more goals to come in this game, and there could be extra time as well.
RT Sport has teamed up with the 5-star Powerscourt Hotel Resort and Spa, part of the MHL Hotel Collection, to give you the chance to win a luxury weekend away. Nestled within the natural beauty of the Wicklow Mountains, it's the perfect place for a relaxing getaway this summer. See powerscourthotel.com for more. You and a friend will stay for 3 nights in one of their elegant suites, enjoying a hearty breakfast each morning with panoramic mountain views. You'll have dinner in the stunning Sika restaurant on one evening and unwind with afternoon tea in the picturesque Sugarloaf Lounge too. Plus, we are throwing in €500 to spend as you wish. For your chance to win, answer this question. In which provincial football championship does New York participate? Is it Leinster, Connacht or Ulster? To enter, call the number on screen or text the word GAME, followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, 12th of May. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
The Harvey Norman Big Sale is now on, with big deals on big screen TVs. Save €100 on the Sony 65-inch Bravia 4K TV with stunning OLED picture quality. Now €1899 plus a €150 Harvey Norman gift card. Or save €100 on the Samsung 65-inch Neo QLED TV for lifelike clarity and sound. Now €1099. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? The Harvey Norman Big Sale, now on.
Go! Yeah, broken down in the middle of nowhere.
No, we'll miss the whole party.
Yeah, look, there's nothing we can actually do about it, so...
Genius here, forgot to put petrol in the car.
Classic Dad.
You're welcome. Tow truck guy said 4 hours.
If we're lucky.
I know they're going to hate us. Oh, no. There's nothing we can do. Oh, look, a tractor.
Good food, good mood. From Aldi.
All right, team, we've got less than 4 minutes before she gets her car insurance quotes. Brendan, you're up for the web chat if she wants assistance.
I wonder what kind of car she's going to get.
Focus, Brendan, focus. Brent, it's for you.
On it.
RedClick, insurance that just clicks. Save an average of €245 when you quote online.
I am the same boat, and I like to do things fast. And now fast just got better. Fast just got better. New Persil Wonder Wash. Blast away invisible dirt and sweat. Our first ever detergent designed for shorter cycle. Better on odor, better on fragrance. New Persil Wonder Wash. Fast just got better.
A chuirde tá chuinín beag caiilte ag mhaach Jack. Tá uachas Jack agus tá chraí sa chuinín sin.
Bhfuil feanach tríocht.
You know, really.
Sé tá on post ag buint fios amach.
When you're setting up a new nest, starting your own flock, or they just keep on growing. At Very, get the flexibility you need. And pay in 3 with Take 3. 3 payments over 3 months and pay no interest. Plus, it's always available when you need it, including on our app. Shop the online store for fashion, home and more. Very. Ways to pay that work your way.
Ex-Special Forces soldier Ray Goggins.
You're going to be one of the toughest challenges you'll ever face in your life.
Takes well-known faces.
I can't do it. There's no way down from here.
Through some of the toughest terrains across 3 continents.
Lads, this doesn't feel real.
In a test of nerve, endurance and survival.
-29.
Uncharted.
Do not look down.
Wednesday at 9:35 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
SuperValue believe in community. And community includes everyone.
Can't wait to find out what happens in this second half of the Leinster final. Just that point between Meath and Louth and that very strange scoreline of 13 points to 3-3. We had talked about how both teams could be nervous. Some of the halftime stats are particularly interesting because Meath went from struggling early on, then they went at one stage they had 7 attacks and they shot 7 scores from them. Does that suggest that perhaps they have now settled? Have both teams settled?
I think, listen, both teams, it was always going to take a while, Joanne, for both teams to settle into the game. You expected a lot of mistakes, a lot more turnovers, a lot of nerves, a lot of edginess, and you can see, you know, the quality probably is not the same level, say, to some of the top teams, but Meath have had that streaky form all year, and that comes off that momentum. The crowd got behind them, they got that 6 points in 6 minutes. They have that potential. That's the, you know, even coming into this game, you always felt Louth were maybe a little bit more organised. They kind of know what they're doing, maybe defensively. They know what they're doing offensively as well. They can mix it up. But Meath are just that more streaky, that they have that ability to hurt you in a short period of time, and that's the danger they have.
They're more streaky, but at the same time, there's probably more Meath players contributing to the game. The likes of Kinsella, a bit like Connaughton yesterday in the Ulster final. Sometimes I feel Louth, they're concentrating a lot of their efforts on stopping Freehan and Conlon, and then Kinsella's coming from behind. He's kicked a 2-pointer and a couple other really good scores. So I think if you're Louth, you're asking yourself the question and changing right now: why aren't we competing in midfield? Why isn't there more players contributing?
Why aren't they competing at midfield? We see the kickouts; most of them went left, and Meath were eating them alive.
I think Meath have read them, haven't they? Because Meath obviously identified where they're going, get more bodies around there, and Flynn in particular.
Louth are going for that. They were going for that overload under the Hogan stand, and Meath are kind of ready for it. It's a 50-50 ball you're putting out there. Some days it might work for you, puts you on the front foot, but Meath just won enough of them in that period to be able to get the scores.
Do you feel that Louth have more in them to make improvements? I mean, have they played well within themselves in that opening half?
I don't think Louth have played well. I think if you look at it, will Louth have expected to score 3 goals in the first half? No, they won't. I think they'll be in there going, why are we only 6 scores on the board? And I think they'll feel they have to bring a lot more to this game if they're looking to win it.
Now, we have seen Sam Mulroy. He has been heavily involved in around that sort of middle sector, in around the 45-metre line. But do they need to get more of them involved up where it really matters?
Yeah, well, I think Louth were definitely attacking a bit faster, and if Louth get that bit of platform around the middle, you know, at times their runners, Conor Grimes looks dangerous, Ryan Burns inside was looking dangerous, Kieran Downey, you know, they have strong runners and they can attack with a lot more fastly. So Mulroy will link in with the 3 or 4 of them, and they'll look to get just more. If Louth get a little bit more possession around the midfield, it could be dangerous.
Who knows what's going to happen in the next 35 minutes? It's back to Desi and Jar.
Thank you, Joanne. No changes made by either team. So ready to start this second half. Just 1 point between the teams. When Louth beat Meath, by the way, in this year's National League, it ensured that the wee county would not be dropping into Division 3 of the league next year. They did so without their talisman, Sam Mulroy, that day. So let's see what's going to happen today in the big one. Second half of the Leinster final for 2025. And immediately, it is Louth who try to get possession. There's a high challenge on Sam Mulroy. Referee will bring it back. This is what happened here again, Desi.
Yeah,
quite a high challenge there.
Yeah, Brian Menton wouldn't shy away from a tackle, and certainly Sam Mulroy felt it, but it's just his role. He's that centre forward, getting on a lot of possession, Sam Mulroy, and he's having a good influence on the game. But we cannot forget, Meath in their subs bench have Jordan Morris, who's probably the most influential player they had during the league.
One tall man who might come in for Louth at some stage might be Darragh MacDonald, another MacDonald, another 220 last year. And they've Kieran Byrne, of course, who played in Australia. He's also on the bench today, having been unavailable in the semi-final. So here comes Bevan Duffy now. Got one of their points earlier on in the game, out as far as Conor Grimes. Switched forward by Ryan Burns. Back towards Duffy again from the St. Feckin's club in Termonfeckin. Craig Lennon got that absolutely superb strike there just before half-time, that wonderful goal. Duffy again coming through, switched as far as Conall McKeever. He was a goal scorer in the game against Kildare. Leaving it there for Andy MacDonald. So Meath quite content now just to let Louth play around with it outside the edges there. Make sure they don't try a long shot, that is. Lennon switch back to Tommy Dernan. Dernan now trying to see if there's movement right and left. Switched in there with Mulroy, and Mulroy kicking a 2-pointer, but it's away to the right-hand side. first miss of the second half, but they're fourth in all.
Yeah, that was his intention. As soon as he got the ball in his hands, he got a yard of space. He can kick them. He's well capable of kicking that two-pointer, but a little bit rushed for Sam that time.
Hogan out to the wings that time as far as Matthew Costello couldn't take it. Instead, it's Kieran Downey, and Costello feeling his head. Clearly, there was a collision there with Downey.
Sam Mulroy's coming over to kick this one off the ground.
Well, he's well and truly capable of it, as he's shown us all throughout this year's season, League and Championship. Man has been playing Championship now since 2018 for Louth. Made his debut against Leitrim. It was a day when Leitrim beat Louth, but Louth's fortunes have changed in recent years. Mickey Hart deserves a lot of credit for bringing them to a Leinster final 2 years ago. All of a sudden, an awful lot more people wanted to play for Louth. Samuel Roy, one of their stars. Can he make it? Gave it a good old thump, but it's gone out left, and it's a fifth wide. There's still 1 point in arrears. Billy Hogan, once again, the Longwood goalkeeper. Louth pressing up on the kick out as best they can, putting pressure on. Race for possession here with Sean Coffey trying to get to it. So too Tommy Dernan. Dernan holding off the Meath forward, and then it's Ryan Burns who comes in, takes it. Kieran Downey looking to switch it forward now with a bit more pace and a bit more imagination, maybe. Holding it up. Lazily struck across here, getting over to get to it was Samuel Roy. Back to Downey again. One of the Newtown Blues players. Bevan Duffy trying to go through the centre here. 2-3 Meath players there to confront him. Back out as far as Peter Lynch. Turned into Mulroy once more. The last one didn't work out. This one is under hit, and Hogan able to take it from underneath the post and give it out there as far as Brian O'Halloran, and then switch further out as far as Rory Kinsella. And now it's Meath's turn to launch their first attack of the second half. 4.5 minutes into the half. Out to Conor Duke, looking to extend their advantage. 1 point up at half time, and that one is nicely over. Matthew Costello, first point of the day for Matt. Taking the point, the pass from Conor Duke, getting it sweetly on the left and making it 14 points to 3 goals and 3.
Yeah, a little double tap with the hands to create the opportunity. Good free, but that again came from Sam Mulroy. That's 3 misses in a row from Sam Mulroy. Ended up going into Billy Hogan's hand, ended up with a score on the far end of the pitch.
McKenny under pressure, steps out over the far sideline. Meath want to take it quickly, and he should have given the ball back, and he's penalised 50 metres, and the referee has brought it right forward now. And this will give Meath every opportunity maybe of kicking a 2-pointer.
I think Billy Hogan has been called up to kick this one.
So Hogan, who got a 2-pointer in the first half. Well, the clock stops, and the Meath goalkeeper, who has been beaten on 3 occasions by Louth in the opening 35, has this opportunity now of getting another 2-pointer, stretching Meath's advantage. 2 points up at the present time. Early stages of the second half, and he's once again done the business in emphatic fashion. Caught it cleanly, hit it sweetly, and the Meath fans love it. 16 points to 3-3. That's 16 points to 12.
Well, Louth now know that Billy Hogan is on form with the 2 pointers. Another excellent kick, and again come from indiscipline there from Louth.
That's touched down, but onto it very, very quickly came Conal McKeever, bottled up there. But still coming back to win it is Mulroy. Feeds it forward on as far as Kieran Downey, ready to take on Costello, who's back there. A little block on it. It's gone out for a 45, and that's the game's first. The game heats up a little bit.
Yeah, there's certainly good contact and good physical battles out around the middle of the pitch. You've seen Dermot Campbell picking up a yellow card there. I think he'd no gum shield in just before the free.
So that's 1 yellow card per team. Earlier on, Matthew Costello was yellow carded. So it'll be a 45. It'll be taken by Sam Mulroy.
There's a bit of pressure building on this Ger. He's missed 3 kicks in a row now, and this is his 4th, so if he misses this, he'll be feeling the pressure.
Looking to add to the goal and a point he got in the opening 35. Hoping to bring the deficit back down. And he's gone out to the right. He's having one of those starts to the second half. Shake of the head there by that Louth fan. 6 wides. So that's a 4th miss by Mulroy. All the way out here, difficult to keep that one in spite of the best efforts of Brian O'Halloran. Right on the line. Linesman on that near side is Paul Falloon from down. Louth take it, kick it in as far as Tommy Dernan. And the 32-year-old now trying to move it ahead here. Plenty of time still to go. Only about 7 minutes of actual playing time gone in the second half. Conor Grimes in. Quick turn. Burns is there. Looking to try and find enough space in which to manoeuvre. I think he's got it. He has. A fabulous 2-pointer by Ryan Burns. And that's a goal on 3 now by the Hunterstown Rovers player from near RD.
Great score by Ryan Burns, and he shows his quality. He really is an efficient player. He mightn't take many shots, but certainly scores when he does take the shots. That's 1-2 for him today.
It's a 2-point lead now for Meath. From the kick out here, punched down by Bevan Duffy. Onto it came Kieran Caulfield of Meath. Runs loose, gathered in there by Tommy Dernan. Fouled by Sean Rafferty. Rafferty gets away quickly, doesn't want to incur a 50-metre foul for his team, or a 50-metre penalty for his team. Mulroy carrying it on now for Louth. Bit static players to his left. Kieran Downey now eventually inside towards Lennon. They're moving around. Dernan. Ahead of him there is Sean Coffey, looking to try and strip the football from him. That's a little under hit, and Coffey dashed in. Lennon did just enough, but it's won back by Brian Menton. It's won back by Meath. Jack Flynn plays it out to his right-hand side. Costello fumbles, might go down to gather it. Chipped it up beautifully. Conor Grimes trying to take it from him. Flynn, back in again it comes. Inside nicely as far as Donald Keogan, going for a 1-pointer with great assurance and deadly accuracy. Donald Keogan in his 58th championship match gets a Leinster final point here and puts 3 between them. It's 17 points to 3 goals and 5.
Again, coming from sloppy play from Louth. Their slow build-up caused problems. The ball was turned over in the middle of the pitch by Tommy Dernan. Ended up getting to Matty Costello, who laid it into Donald Keogan, and he's shown all his experience and know-how. Great finish from him. But certainly Louth just need to show that little bit of composure that we're used to seeing from them.
Jordan Morris is on. The man who was one of their leading scorers in this year's National League, with some 2 goals and 43 points in 7 games, comes on at this critical stage in the game now, about 9 minutes into the second half.
He really is a quality forward, Ger.
A change as well. Kieran Keenan Desi has just come on as well. He was a goal scorer in last year's Leinster final against Dublin. So both sides making switches at the same time. Let's see if it'll switch their fortunes now. Sam Mulroy across here to Darren Nally. Back it comes to Kieran Downey, turning inside here. Duffy giving the opportunity now for Kieran Keenan to get his hands on the ball. Player who can make things happen for Ger Brennan's team. Tommy Dernan taking it on here. Brian Menton trying to make sure he doesn't go for a 2-pointer. Back out as far as Mulroy again. Dernan switched as far as Keenan. Held onto by Mulroy again. Cautiously building it up. There's Craig Lennon. Immediately out came Sean Coffey, because he knows the danger that every time Craig Lennon has possession anywhere near the edge of the arc, you've got to be on your guard. Mulroy nicely inside. This is Downey, and a hefty challenge there by Sean Rafferty. A yellow card for the fullback from Na Fianna for that. Free in.
Good ball in from Sam Mulroy into Kieran Downey. Kieran Downey's a very energetic player. He always gives you everything he has, and you can see that tackle is high. It's certainly a free in.
So following that yellow card and that foul, there's an opportunity now to make it a 2-point game. Paul Matthews is coming in. Didn't start the day, and the player he is replacing is going to be Andy MacDonald. So Mulroy with an easy kick this time gets himself a white flag, so that's a goal and 2 for Sam Mulroy. 17 points to 3-6. As you can see, it's a 2-point difference.
Billy Hogan's done exceptionally well on the kickouts. He's a great range, short, medium, long.
And they've retained it. Pressure coming on now. Rafferty, yellow carded a moment ago there, does well to outfox Sam Mulroy and carry it out with some assurance. Out to Brian O'Halloran. Switched across to Kieran Caulfield, the higher education player of the year in the Sigerson Cup. On it goes as far as Rory Kinsella. 4 points already in this match. Moving it out again, James Conlon there. Bringing it out into wide positions. Louth, meanwhile, defensively adjusting. In it goes as far as Jack Flynn. Back out it comes again. Big, huge effort this time by Jordan Morris. That'll get a big cheer. It's his first contribution since coming off the bench. He's in form. The fans are in form. They're looking for victory, and it was Jack Flynn who got it out as far as Morris, and that is a beauty.
Yeah, Jack Flynn slipped. He was under pressure. He was looking for an outlet, but Jordan Flynn backed himself from distance. If you give him any opportunity, he's more likely to score. He's an incredible forward.
From that, a great catch. Well taken by Meath in the middle of the field, and Donald Keoghan able to bring it forward now here. And they build upon that good work. Relentlessly taking it forward. There's Sean Coffey, but running into a stiff load of Louth players, grouping together well, making sure there was no further progress for the Royals. And now a counter move forward here now, this time involving the number 2, Darren Nally. Paul Matthews, first touch for him, on as far as Craig Lennon. Anybody's match here, 3 between them. McKeever from the Clonagh Prub. Dernan nicely in there to Keenan once again, the second half substitute. Conor Grimes yet to score in this, got 4 points in last year's final against Dublin. Switched inside, came off the back of a defender. It's booted back out again by a resourceful Louth colleague. Back out to Grimes, kicking it, and he's made it. A 1-point score by Conor Grimes. That was nearly broken down there, but it's back to a 2-point difference. Just watch as this ball was on the ground and they got a kick to it. It may be Kieran Keenan, back out as far as Grimes. And he did the rest.
That Ryan Burns, I've watched plenty of videos. I'm looking for a backdoor cut over the top. The ball was intercepted. Ball out to Conor Grimes, and that was a great score. Showed great composure. Has a quiet enough game, but a good, excellent finish there.
Billy Hogan slipping as he kicks it down. It's down there towards Conor Duke. It's won, however, by Louth and by Tommy Dernan. Kicking it out as far as Sam Mulroy. Looking to try and come from behind now and match what Meath have been able to offer up to now. Donald McKenny. Inside, quick hands, in as far as Downey. Oh, that's a poor pass intended there for Lennon. Seized on, and they win it back. Louth showed great determination and hunger to get the challenge in, and the ball won back and turned over, but there is a head contact foul, and the referee is stopping the game, and that is not popular with the Louth fans who saw their team with possession and were hoping to advance, but the referee has to be cautious and he has to do the right thing, and the safety of the players is paramount.
Yeah, Kieran Downey comes in here hard. He was frustrated, he gave the ball away initially, but you can see yourself it was high, shoulder to the head, and Martin McNally probably had no decision there. He knew straight away he was close to the play.
Yeah, the referee has just said that to the players as Brian O'Halloran receives some attention.
Paul Matthews is down also for Louth. He shipped a heavy tackle in the last contest for midfield possession.
Nearly 50 minutes are gone here, Desi, so another 20 minutes to go here. Robbie Brennan probably living on his nerves over there. Decisions to be made. Interesting group of people on the sideline there with him. He's got Shane Supple, he's got Conor Gillespie as well. Shane Supple will be remembered as a former Dublin goalkeeper. Of course, he was also a former Ipswich Town goalkeeper. The tall man there on the left-hand side, that is Conor Gillespie, one of the selectors. Former midfielder for Meath. Free kick coming up. Sam Mulroy will be the one to take it. Well, the referee stopped the play, so perhaps you can't score from this, so he's
got to go indirect.
Yeah. Peter Lynch back to Mulroy. From here, let's see what he can do. Up against Rory Kinsella, taking him on. Movement ahead. Grimes is there. The challenge about to come in from Costello. Grimes gets the kick in. It's up into the air. It's on its way, but it's going to drop short, and it's fisted by the defender, I think. That is by Seamus Lavin. It's gone out for another 45, second of the match.
Yeah, good decision. Conor Grimes had a good opportunity there. It looked like a good line. We sat back on it.
Niall Moyna there just in the background. Part of Ger Brennan's backroom team, along with Peter Dooley and James McCartan, the former Down All-Ireland star and manager.
Yeah, he's done a great job, Ger Brennan. Coming in after Mickey Hart, there was probably an expectation Louth might drop back a little bit, but certainly he's done a great job. They were very good and very competitive last year's All-Ireland series, but made them very assured and built on what Mickey Hart had done.
Sam Mulroy's got a goal and 2 so far. This 45 now will make it a 1-point game if he can get it. Missed a few. He's cleared his head, ready to go and kick it over if he can. And he's got it. From the 45, that's a goal and 3 by Sam Mulroy. This is a 1-point Leinster football final.
And that's quality, Ger. He missed a couple, 3 or 4 in a row, but it's a sign of a great player that when the opportunity comes to step up and get the next one, he's willing to take it, and a great score and a quality player.
Hogan booting it out into the centre again. Scramble for possession, won brilliantly by Tommy Dernan. Clean catch, beautifully done. Paul Matthews, fresh in off the bench. To his right he's got Keenan, takes it up. Kieran Keenan ready to threaten that Meath defence again as they come looking for the equalising score. Back to Conall McKeever. Rolled in as far as Bevan Duffy. Trying to cut inside. That wasn't possible because of the presence of Rory Kinsella of Meath. Out comes Conor Grimes. Tommy Dernan now. To his left, Mulroy. Thought about the pass outside. Now he gives it. And now it is Kieran Downey racing through, trying to take on 2-3. They just about managed to retain the possession. That much was positive. Paul Matthews, then it's Downey clipping it back again, and they go again. Dernan again, prompting. Donald Keoghan, the one who's coming out, trying to lead the line of defenders to come out and take the ball back, but it's Kieran Keenan who's got it. It's Sam Mulroy in determined fashion, winding himself up to kick that one. Is it over? They are level. (1-4) for Sam Mulroy. 53 minutes are gone. This is some kick, a confident kick. It needed to be on target. It was.
Setting the game up really well for the last 18 minutes. And you can see the role. Tommy Dernan out there in midfield. Kieran Downey's coming more and more into it. And obviously the quality, and that's why Louth are such a good team, are very difficult to beat.
Shane Walsh has come on, a real quality player, beset by injuries. He comes on in place of Conor Duke. But Louth have won it again. Looking to try and win the Leinster Crown for the first time since 1957. 68 years ago. Meath last won it back in 2010 when they beat Louth. Sam Mulroy ready to take the free kick. Nothing happening for him, so he waits for the movement, and the movement comes from Conall McKeever. Steals away from his marker. Good movement, nicely done. On for Grimes, switched across as far as Downey. Oh, well, I think he was a little annoyed, expecting one of his colleagues to have come nearer to him to take that. So it's Downey again taking over and hitting it up into the air in the direction of the goal mouth area, but away to the right-hand side. 7 misses, still level, 18 points to 3-9. As you can see, 53.5 minutes are gone at Croke Park in the 2025 Leinster football final.
A bit of frustration by Robbie Kenny. You can see it there, and the goalie Billy Hogan was intercepted, just trying to get his kick away short.
That's a much better kick out, all the way there to Sean Coffey. Fouled. Referee wants it back. Wasn't allowing Kieran Caulfield to take it away quickly. First touch for Shane Walsh. Second sub to be introduced by Robbie Brennan so far. Here's the first. Jordan Morris scored with his first touch earlier on. Out to James Conlon. Back to Caulfield. Well, now they've had their little spell of dominance now. Did really well. Drew level. Meath's turn now to come back, respond. They're responding, and they put it wide. It was a chance which fell to Rory Kinsella.
Snapshot. There was plenty of Louth players back. He tried the outside of the boot. If it comes off, it's a great score. It didn't come off. He sliced it and wide, and the pressure's building on both sets of players. As
we're heading down towards the last 15 minutes of the 70. Niall MacDonald booting it into the centre towards Dernan. Broken down. Collected here by Bevan Duffy. Dernan now moves forward again here. Across comes Brian Menton to try and close down that particular avenue. Switched by Paul Matthews over to Craig Lennon. One goal against his name, but one magnificent goal against his name as well. Here's Peter Lynch, former Louth Young Player of the Year. In there, gathered cleanly inside by Kieran Keenan this time. Back out to McKeever. Kieran Downey clipped in. Oh, the pass was intended there for Matthews. The defender got in quickly, but won back by McKeever. Held on to here by Burns. Driving forward again is Downey, looking at the target, he's got it! 4 points without reply now by Louth, and they lead thanks to Kieran Downey's score here. Set up by Ryan Burns, dodged past the defender, showed assurance and a clear kicking ability. Beautifully done.
And his influence has come more and more into the game in the second half. He's a massive engine. He's working tirelessly for the team. He's got a couple of opportunities, won a couple of frees, and that's a brilliant score.
Meath fans now look for their team to reply. They've allowed Louth to dominate up to now. Jack Flynn comes back with a shot, but he misses. 6 wides, 2 in the second half.
Meath just need to show a little bit of composure, rushing a couple of shots. He could have brought that ball a bit further, went for the 2-pointer and wide.
MacDonald does very well with his kick out here, out to the corner, out as far as Donald McKenny. Tried that a few times now in this second half, but it's much better than what we were seeing in the opening 35 minutes, which was lacking in assurance. Darren Nally ready to sweep down here. Rory Kinsella hoping to block his path. Reinforcements arrive. Paul Matthews. Peter Lynch now coming out. Nobody to challenge him, ready to take it out to his own 65 and beyond. The channel opens up because Louth players went right and left to try and attract defenders with them. Kieran Keenan, switch back. Grimes. Tommy Dernan now, having lost the last 2 finals to Dublin, with, as you can see, about 13 minutes of the 70 still to go. Can Louth hold on to their 1-point lead or build on it? Can Meath take back the initiative again? Peter Lynch. Samuel Roy now.
To be fair to Louth, they're taking risks. That's 3 or 4 kicks in to the full forward line that they've tried and worked as well. So they're not afraid to get that ball into that full forward line if the opportunity is on.
And their captain here, Samuel Roy, again getting his hands on the football time and again. Peter Lynch. Grimes does well, uses his physique strongly. McKeever, Lynch again. Back to Dernan. People who have served Meath football well over the years. Lynch nicely in, Keenan back. Grimes thought about the pass to Matthews, then gives it to him. little movement ahead. Dernan didn't get the ball back from Matthews. Instead, it is Bevan Duffy. They're really tormenting the Meath defenders at this stage. Rapid movement, quick changes. Nothing that Meath can do about it immediately. Sam Mulroy again. Louth fans loving this, cheering on their team. Mulroy on his left, angling the ball in and putting it over the bar. 1-5 for Sam Mulroy. The patience paid off. The Louth fans have been patient, waiting for their team to deliver. Will this be the day? They're ahead by 2.
You said it, Gerard. This is their 3rd Leinster final, but they're starting to show that composure that you need to get a result. Great play by Sam Mulroy and from the team to show the composure and the patience to work the proper score.
There's a long, long way still to go, Desi. 10-11 minutes. Kieran Caulfield. And of course, there could be extra time and penalties. Jordan Morris. They missed him. Had a superb National League campaign. TUD student, part of the Higher Education Team of the Year team. Trying to steal a march here on Bevan Duffy. Rolled back as far as Owen Frayne, their captain. Then Big Jack Flynn. Nicely in as far as Kieran Caulfield. Good movement here. That's Morris getting a chance. Oof. Hoofing it in there, but he had no real opportunity to get it on target. There was so much pressure on him, and Morris has gone down with the injury, and that will be worrying for the Meath management. He's up quickly now.
He looked hurt, Morris, when he went down.
Certainly did. And Louth anywhere now able to burst forward again through Peter Lynch. They've got a couple of players free in the middle to carry it on. One of them is Craig Lennon, and the other is the non-stop movement man himself, Conor Grimes. Perpetual motion. In there it goes as far as Keenan. Switch to Matthews. Turn back here towards Lennon again. Left there for Paul Matthews, the St. Feckin's player. Physically strong, energetic player, the number 10 who's come off the bench. Mulroy. Down to 9 minutes from the finish. Kieran Downey. Lennon. Challenge there by Caulfield, ready to nip in at any moment with the hand and try and get the ball back, but that's difficult. Ball carriers have done a very good job here for Louth. Assured and confident. Not the greatest of passes that, and they just about did well there because of Keenan. Knew it was a bad ball, kicked it into space, and Mulroy scampered back to win it, and now they turn it over, and Meath have it. And it's Rory Kinsell's turn to break, and it's down as far as the recovered Jordan Morris. There's real possibilities here. Morris for Matthew Costello. There's a goal on, and Costello's got it. Matthew Costello, his 6th championship goal comes after 62 minutes, and Meath are back in front by a point, and it all came from a passing error right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, picked up by Kinsella into Jordan Morris, showed great composure. Matty Costello is such an elusive player, ran straight at the heart of the Louth defence, and a brilliant finish off his weaker foot.
It was Meath's first score in some 15 minutes. They needed it. Meath fans needed it, and now they're a point up. And Louth have only got themselves to blame because they messed it around in the middle third. Change has been made, and Kieran Byrne has come on for Louth. Can he make a difference? Ryan Burns, the player who's made way, player who got a goal and 3 points. Niall McDonald, now what's going to happen next? Amazing game. Fortunes changing, switching from moment to moment. On it goes to Paul Matthews, runs loose again. Conor McKeever bends his back, takes it, surrounded by Meath players, had to drop it, would have been caught for overholding otherwise. Kieran Caulfield trying to bundle his way back out of there. He played a big role in that goal set up a little while ago for Matthew Costello. Has that changed this match around completely? Will there be a few more?
There's more handling errors coming into this game, Ger.
Aaron Lynch, number 24, in there as well, in Meath's colours right now. This is moved on here by Owen Frayne, like his colleagues, saw the game drift away from them for a little while there, but now back very much, and that is Bevan Duffy going in with the challenge and turning it over, and McKenny has it back, and Louth have won the possession back from Meath. Meath a point up, trying to hold on now at this stage, as you can see with 7 minutes to go. Peter Lynch knocks it out as far as Craig Lennon. Moved away out to the left-hand side to Conor Grimes. Trying to get by past Donald Keogan. A 31-year-old taking on a 34-year-old. Here's Dermot Campbell. Craig Lennon now. Into the centre as far as Tommy Dernan. So having had some very, very good scoring opportunities, most of which they took, that little bad spell where they mishandled and turned the ball over proved extremely costly for Louth. But will it be fatal? Still lots of time to go. Best part of 6 minutes. Craig Lennon. Louth looking to try and make this attack count and draw level. They've been level 5 times in the match already. Bevan Duffy moved across over here as far as Kieran Byrne, the player who played in Australian rules football. Dermot Campbell. Once more Duffy. The challenge is coming in now. Good challenges that time from Brian O'Halloran, but the referee says unfairly done. The clock is stopped. There's going to be another change. And Louth are ready to bring in Dara MacDonald.
It's a big call by Martin McNally. It offers a 2-point opportunity for Sam Mulroy. You'd see it here. Hands in. Tight call.
Well, it's been given by Martin McNally, and as you say, it gives the opportunity to Sam Mulroy to boot over a 2-pointer. Dara MacDonald, I was mentioning earlier, comes on for Bevan Duffy. Dara, who played in a Leinster final at under 20 level last year. So here's Sam Mulroy. He's got a goal and 5 so far. He's just outside the 45-metre line, as you can see, but it's certainly well within his range. This to put Louth back in front by a point. Can he make it? He's done it! They're ahead by a point. 3-13 to 1-18. That's 1-7 that Sam Mulroy has scored.
And that's why I said the call initially was a big call by Martin McNally to give the opportunity for Louth to kick the 2-pointer, and now Louth in possession again.
Well, those are the new rules in operation during this year's League and Championship. They'll be firmed up in October at a special Congress and decided upon at that stage whether they are going to stay one by one of the rules or whether they will be changed. Well, right now they're leading to a lot of excitement and entertainment in our games. Craig Lennon with about 4.5 minutes still to play here in the 2025 final. Paul Matthews, Peter Lynch. Little switch here, nice turn by Craig Lennon, did well. Lovely control, trying to go through the eye of a needle here. That's not easy, he still has it. Found a colleague as well. Retained it there with Kieran Keenan. Back to Peter Lynch again. Back to the captain.
Great defending by Meath. Craig Lennon spotted the opportunity. You know what he's capable of. But Meath got him in and blocked him at the top of the arch.
Meath concentrating strongly. They're only a point behind. They're still very much in this. Kieran Downey. Back out to Dara MacDonald. First touch. Lynch. Mulroy. And then saying to the fullback, Dermot Campbell, you come forward. Dernan. Well, they realise now, they've always done so, of course, that one lapse in concentration can prove so costly. Peter Lynch passes exact back as far as Mulroy again. In came Dara MacDonald. Showed assurance there, holding on to that. Campbell switched over as far as Kieran Downey. Sam Mulroy. Hounded there by Sean Coffey. From a Meath point of view, the clock is very much against them.
And Louth done very well to hold possession for as long as they have. Samuel Roy on the ball is a great option. He's physically very strong. He doesn't give it away much and knows how to make great decisions.
But Meath have got to win it back. They've got to get in there. They've got to get the hands in.
It's a dangerous game as well.
Sure is. Back it comes as far as Donald McKenny. It's been total Louth possession, and you can see James Conlon there running and chasing and harrying and trying to make it very difficult, and there's more pressure now on Peter Lynch, and this time the pressure there by Aaron Lynch is penalised by the referee. Foul committed. Another change about to happen, and it's for Meath, and coming in will be Daithí McGowan. So McGowan's on. It's gone in up front. As you can see, the clock is starting up again now with just over 2 minutes to go.
He has to go short.
There's a Louth player initially on the ground there, Dara Nally, but he's back up on his feet again. James Conlon, the one who made way for McGowan. Meath have to get the football. Louth have to contain them and retain it, and McKenny with his jersey pulled by Costello goes on. Matthews switched inside. Matthews again. Back it comes once more. Kieran Byrne. Players on this near side of the field.
Yeah, Tommy Dernan was screaming for it. He was free against Kildare. He kicked a massive two-pointer towards the end of the game. I'm sure he fancied it.
Just a little over 90 seconds to go. Byrne back in as far as Dernan again. Is it to be Louth's day? 1 point up. A dramatic Leinster final. Back out it comes to Dara MacDonald. Fighting hard and battling to hold on to it is Donald McKenny. Outside the 20-metre line. MacDonald held on. Kieran Byrne holds on, so too is Matthews. They're all working so hard at this stage. Dara MacDonald again. 1 minute and 10 to go. Switch back to Kieran Byrne once more. Then across as far as Downey, as the Louth fans you hear cheering out now. In as far as Craig Lennon. Lennon going through here and kicking a point. A goal and a point for Craig Lennon. That was patience personified. That was assurance on the part of a Louth team beaten in the last two Leinster finals, refusing this year to come away empty-handed. And the excellent Craig Lennon put them 2 in front. 45 seconds still to go, Desi.
But great awareness from Kieran Downey. The two-pointer was on. He had time, he had space, but he took the better option. Craig Lennon all day long found himself in time and space. Excellent point, but great play by the experienced Louth team.
Only a goal will save Meath at this stage, you would think. 40 seconds left. Dernan goes for it. It's won there by Louth. They have it back again. Emmett Carolyn is out on the field right now doing his stuff. And these Louth fans overjoyed. It's been a long, long time. 68 years, most of them weren't born, when a Louth team won the Leinster Championship. They went on to win the All-Ireland that same year, 1957, captained by a great footballer, a great musician, Dermot O'Brien. And right now, they are within touching distance of lifting silverware. Ger Brennan's team, here's the hooter, the ball is kicked out, and Louth are the Leinster football champions for 2025. Sensational work on the part of Ger Brennan and Louth. How they will celebrate. It's been a wonderful Leinster football final, thoroughly enjoyed, and after 3 finals where they lost 2, finally the men in red came good.
Yeah, 1957, so long for Louth. Well done to Ger Brennan there, great scene, richly deserved. The players have shown a lot of quality over a long number of years, coming all the way from Division 4. They're in the minor final, they won the under-20 during the week, and now they're in the senior Leinster champions. What an incredible achievement for Samuel Roy there, going to lift the Delaney Cup.
They may be the wee county, but today they are making the headlines in Sporting Ireland. Leinster champions after 68 years. Samuel Roy, a goal and 7 scored this afternoon. Tommy Dernan from St Mary's RD. all those games he has played I was telling you about. He's played in the last 29 now championship matches that Louth has played. There was that Craig Lennon goal before half-time, an absolutely brilliant score. There was energy, there was everything you could want, and now there's passion and there's joy all around this stadium for those who are supporting the team in red. Red and white flags, they're the colours. They predominate all over Croke Park. It's a splendid scene. It was an emotional occasion. It was a good old match, thoroughly enjoyed. And Louth emerge victorious.
Tears of joy. You can see the emotion from a lot of people. But you have to remember the quality that the players have. Tommy Dernan there, what a servant. You see Donald McKenny in the corner, Ryan Burns with his goal in 3. As you said, Samuel Roy with a goal in 7. The more the game on went, the better Kieran Downey came into it. You can remember the great scores. We'll always remember that great goal by Craig Lennon just before half-time when Louth are really struggling. But what a performance by both sets of teams, but in particular Louth.
OK, we've got the man of the match, and let's go down to Damien.
Thank you very much, Gerard. Had to be one man. Sam Mulroy, congratulations, you are the AIB man of the match. Former Louth legend Darren Clark is here on behalf of AIB to do the presentation. Thank you, Darren. Can you sum up what this means?
Absolutely everything. It's absolutely everything to me, this team, and the people allowed, so I'm absolutely delighted.
With the experience you had over the last couple of years, that can work both ways. It can bring in added pressure. Like the composure at the end there to get over the line says an awful lot about this squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've been on the end of Dublin's reign the last few years, so I think definitely I suppose that experience of playing here, having to keep the ball at times. It's tiring out there, it's hot, it's big, a big pitch, so yeah, I think it stood to us last few minutes.
It was the exact type of game you would have expected, so cagey. It was always going to be the smallest of margins, and you just seem to love leading from the front and just contributing with those big clutch moments.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think everyone absolutely stood up today, like across the board, boys coming in, just composure. Everyone played their part, and couldn't be prouder.
1957, like sometimes if you dream long enough, the dream will eventually come true. There's a lot of football still to be played, but it's really important to celebrate nights like this because there's no guarantee they're going to come around that often.
No, it's been 68 years since Louth have had their hands on the Delaney Cup, so we'll enjoy tonight.
2010 deleted from history now.
No, we won't talk about 2010 today.
Congratulations, enjoy the celebration, Sam. Thanks so much for being with us. Thank you.
What an incredible performance from Sam Mulroy when he kicked 4 wides within the opening 6 minutes. Who would have suggested that he was going to end up not only the winning captain on Leinster final day, but man of the match? But what an incredible performance. What a day for County Louth, Sean Kavanagh. I mean, Sam may not be talking about 2010, but does it maybe put at least that to bed for this county?
An amazing day for Louth, an amazing day for Gaelic football. You know what, like days like this, you're just so appreciative of what football can bring to people, to counties, to ourselves, even as neutrals. The passion, the energy around this stadium just now is phenomenal, and the way Louth come back after a tough first half. They stuck to it, they missed a lot of chances, started the second half, but they stuck diligently, they fought as a team. They're totally deserving winners here today, and well done to them.
Joanne, it's been a long time since 1957, and these lads have written themselves into the history books now, and you know, that turmoil from 2010, I know Sam Mulroy didn't want to mention it, but it took them a long time to get over that, and you know, this is their day in the sun, this is their retribution. It was a brilliant second half performance. They wouldn't have been happy probably with how they played in the first half, and you felt they were going to up the gears. They'd done that and they controlled it, and the composure they showed in the last 3 or 4 minutes, you know, they went for home from a long way out. Myself and Sean were wondering would they get there in terms of controlling possession, but you know, there's Ger Brennan has done a brilliant job on the back of what Mickey Hart done to bring them from Division 4 all the way up. You know, they took brave decisions over the last 2 years. Peter Fitzpatrick went and got good people to come in, they got their structures right, and this is their day in the sun. They deserve every bit of it. An absolutely fantastic occasion that created history.
They only led by a single point after the 2-point free from their captain there, who's climbing up the steps. They then held onto the ball for 4 minutes, Sean, and you were saying they shouldn't even take a shot at this stage before Craig Lennon.
We were debating it. I felt they needed a second point, but Sean...
it's very hard to take the ball off someone in such dry conditions, but they were fighting for one another, they were running for one another. There was nothing that was going to stop them coming down that home stretch, and fair play to them.
It is just an unbelievable day here in Croke Park, an incredible day for the County Louth as Sam Mulroy finally gets a chance to put his hands on that Leinster trophy. Let's head over to see the Delaney Cup go the way of Louth as we go back to Desi and Ger.
Thanks, Joanne. That's Derek Kent, and he is the chairman of the Leinster Council, about to make the presentation.
Alliance AIB Super Value, thank you for your ongoing support. Just a few thank yous to everyone that made this year's championship so possible. Thanks to the staff and all the volunteers in Coraline. We made some difficult and tough decisions this year. We moved our games to provincial venues, and it's a move that we made and we plan to stay there. Also, I would like to thank Croke Park, the staff and all the volunteers for hosting today's game. Today is not about Leinster Council. It's about the Delaney Cup going back to Louth after 68 years. It was a long time coming. But in fairness, it took two teams today to make a wonderful game and an epic of a game. Special thanks to Meath and Meath County Board. Now, you've waited 68 years. It's time to hand over the trophy to your captain, Sam Mulroy. Thank you.
Derek Kent and ready to hand over the Delaney Trophy. The cup is going to Louth. Louth are the Leinster football champions for the 9th time. Champions in 2025.
Well, firstly, before I start congratulating or thanking anyone, I just want to remember a special lady from Louth, Mary Claire Rogers, who lost her life over the last number of weeks. So it's been a very sad time in Louth. So for all our friends and family and the people of Louth, we get a bit of bus for her, please. Secondly, I want to thank Mark McNally and his team, and the Meath players and management for an absolutely unbelievable spectacle here today. I think it's fair to say that Leinster is alive and kicking with teams like Meath and Boff. But today, after a very, very long 68 years, the Delaney Cup is back in County Louth! Come on! Over the last number of years, when I suppose no one else believed or no one else thought that Louth could walk up the steps up at the Hogan stand, this group of players dug deep and absolutely put their shoulder to the wheel, led by Ger, Niall, Davy, Pa, Peter, a great county board of Sean McLean, David and his physio team. There's too many to thank, but I suppose the lads standing on the steps here and lads that maybe have come and passed, this is a serious, serious special time, and I want to thank every single one of you for getting us up here, boys. And I didn't really prepare anything today because I didn't want to think too much about it, stand up here, but to see the amount of people here from Louth that travel here today, this is very special. So thank you very much. Now, before I start crying, I'm going to get off the mic and we're going to enjoy a special night bringing this back over through the toll to County Louth!
Oh, such noise, such a day. Such a day for, you talked about how it's not just a day for Louth, it's a day for football, Sean Kavanagh, and a day for the Leinster Championship, which has taken such a knocking down through the years, and has provincial football in general.
Yeah, and I think you have to give the Leinster chairperson, Derek Kent, a lot of praise. He took the semi-finals out of Croke Park. He made the Leinster semi-finals a spectacle. Look at the colour here today, and this final. It's brought life back into the provincial championships that we we've been talking for a number of years to say that they're dead and they're gone and they're outdated. Days like today will never be outdated in any sport, let alone GA. It's just fantastic to see, fantastic to witness, and brilliant spectacles.
And we will talk about the winning moments in the end and about Sam Mulroy's performance. But you said, Kieran, before the game that there would be swings in this match, and at one stage during that second half, Louth couldn't win anything around the midfield, and all of a sudden they got on top. Tommy Dernan started winning ball everywhere. They produced these key turnovers both in defence and up front.
Yeah, there was crucial moments. They got that control in the middle. And there also was a lot of small little moments where they got a hand or they got a foot on the ball to keep possession when they came under pressure. But they took over that control. And it's funny, I was chatting to Sean, and we were kind of saying Louth have looked incredibly composed in the second half, and then they made the mistake and Matthew Costello sticks one in the back of the net, and you're thinking, you know, they've kind of maybe thrown it away, but they had that resilience in that last 4 or 5 minutes just to close it out.
We are going to analyse all of those things. We're going to get reaction, and we're going to experience so much of this incredible occasion in just a couple of minutes.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
From the big hitters to your local favourites, at Just Eat, we are bringing more to your door.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
What's it like having Sky TV? Well, it's
pretty extraordinary.
That's the story on the street.
Help you bring your joy back.
Amen.
Amen.
They won it. We've got it. Watch something unmissable every night.
Oh my God!
With Sky TV, Netflix and Discovery Plus for just €18 a month. Search Sky TV.
Yeah, broken down in the middle of nowhere.
No, we'll miss the whole party.
Yeah, look, there's nothing we can actually do about it, so...
Genius here, forgot to put petrol in the car.
Classic Dad.
You're welcome.
Tow truck guy said 4 hours.
If we're lucky.
I know they're going to hate us.
Oh no.
There's nothing we can do. Oh look, a tractor.
Good food, good mood. From Aldi.
Electricity man.
Some people think Liam is a gas man.
But I'm not. Electricity. Yes, we're called Flow Gas, but we do electricity too. The gas part about it is that the gas part of Flow Gas is only part of it.
What the gas man?
He says the gas part is only part of it.
Well, that's gas.
No, it's electricity.
Huh?
Take it. Go on.
When you think electricity, think Flow Gas. Switch now at flowgas.ie.
Uisce Éireann is Ireland's national water utility, responsible for delivering clean, safe and reliable national public drinking water and wastewater services for Ireland. For any questions about public water services or to report an issue in your area, we can be contacted 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 1800 278 278 or visit water.ie. Uisce Éireann. Delivering water services for Ireland.
McCain, we are family.
I always said it wouldn't change me, and it hasn't. Winning the lotto was amazing, but you can never forget who you are. The values you have don't just disappear.
William, do you want anything from the shop?
Yeah, well, it was 7 million. Got to share the love, don't you?
The National Lottery. it could be you.
I'm Chef Daniel Lambert, and I've got the solution to all your hungry nightmares.
That sounds nothing like what I said.
I'm going to trust you.
He took it to the next level.
You'll see it kind of start to look a bit weird.
We're dealing with more of a mad scientist now than a chef.
Stream all episodes of Look Who's Hungry now on RT Player.
What a day. This is what it's like when you've waited all those years since 1957 to get your hands on the cup. We're feeling it a little cruel here on the other end of the pitch though, and on the sideline, because when some Louth men are doing this, we've dragged poor Craig Lennon over here, but we're going to let you go very, very shortly. But maybe you can just tell us, like, what does it even feel like?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going out of lots of words, just trying to spot family, trying to spot friends, trying to get back to the lads, but I don't know how to explain it. It's if the emotions are so high, I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to explain.
Did you manage to spot anybody in the crowd? Did you manage to get to family?
I seen a few of the lads there. I seen a few of the lads at the club. They had wee cutouts of my face, so they weren't easy to spot. But yeah, I spotted a few, and that's about it so far.
Craig, was today different? I know you'd lost the last couple of finals at Dublin, but did the build up to today's feel a little bit different? Was there that sense of expectation?
Yeah, probably a wee bit. I think, in fairness, and that's something Ger's been brilliant at. It's just getting us away from the noise, getting us away to distract from distractions, how to deal with media, how to deal with that sort of stuff. So his experience in that, when it comes to that, is invaluable. But it's Meath, first championship game or first Leinster final against them since 2010, and obviously that went how it went. So yeah, it's a bit of emotion spilled.
Craig, I'm not going to ask you a question. Go over there and enjoy that, because that's a moment you're missing. Soak it up and get out of here.
100% correct. Off you go. We had so much we want to chat with Craig, but you can't have him not be out in the middle of that. You absolutely cannot. So there's Ger Brennan. Let's have a look. So there is Craig Lennon. What a footballer he is. Before, he was standing here with us for just a moment, but we know he's an all-star. But the influence he had, particularly on that first half, was just incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, and look, he's been like that for the last couple of years, and he is phenomenal at that sort of off the shoulder breaking lines running, and the way in which he's added goal scorers to the game. I was doing a bit of research for today's game for a change, and I realised that Craig Lennon had scored 2-1 last year against Meath in the league. And so it was no surprise when I saw him bursting through and put one in the top corner there today. What a player, what a finisher, and fully deserving of an Leinster
I think he was out injured, Joanne. He missed the league, you know, and that league game was hugely important from a Louth perspective, because they were missing a lot of their key players that day.
Well, Lennon and Mulroy
were missing, and you know, for him to come back and the impact even he had in the Kildare game, but particularly in that first half, that danger from coming from deep we spoke about before the game, his brilliant goal that he'll never forget into that Hill 16 goal end, and he's going to see it many times, I'm sure, over the next few weeks.
But they had quite a few goals, and there was another very key goal in that second half as well, and we thought this might be the turning point, because Louth put on this great run. They had taken control, and up popped Matthew Costello, and it was like a swing.
The thing about this, Joanne, is that this was completely against the run of play. Jordan Moore scored a point from in the 48th minute for Meath, and the only other score for the rest of the 23 minutes was this one. It come from a Mulroy. I thought it was an iffy enough, possibly a free, but a brilliant move, a breakaway move. I felt in real time this could have been a free on any other day, but fair play to Meath. They got away. Jordan Morris had an influence when he came into the game, managed to flick the ball to Costello, who had been quiet for the most part, but what a move and what a finish.
What a move. So that's the 62nd minute after being out of the game for so long. Meath were suddenly in front, 8 minutes to go. But the response from Louth, maybe just take us through it.
It's a crucial free, and Meath will look at this tonight and they'll kind of wonder. I don't think it's a free, being honest. When you see the replay, and we spoke about this, they could kind of hand in ball, you know, what Martin McNally, I don't know what he's seeing, but that's a 2-pointer free. We spoke about Mulroy before the game, and that goes from 1 point down to 1 point up. I think there's 4 or 5 minutes on the clock, Sean, I think, at that point, and you know, then they go for home, and they have to show incredible amount of composure in those few minutes. And then they got pushed right down the field. Don McKenny came, they got a free, and then Lennon is able to seal the deal to force Meath back.
We'll call that free 2010 karma experience. But I felt Louth were full value for it. Durnan come to it in the second half, took a couple of great fetches midfield. Downey's running. Mulroy was like for Louth what Michael Murphy was for Donegal yesterday. He was the centre of everything. I felt they were full value for the win.
They certainly were. Their manager is Ger Brennan. He's now with Damien.
How do you sum that up?
Unbelievable, Dermot. Damon, it's hard to put words on it. Oh my God. Incredible feeling. It's up there with winning an All-Ireland at the play for Dublin. Like, the amount of work that these lads have put in, and context is key. 58 years is a long bloody time not to win a bit of decent silverware. And I just have to give credit to the players, the backroom team, the management team. I'm just lucky that I get to head it up, I suppose, but the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes is incredible. The county board, particularly the clubs put in a huge shift here in getting the skill set into these lads. We just do some tactical stuff with them. So I'm just delighted for the people allowed. The last couple of weeks, Damon, a lot of the clubs gave us access to their pitches as well. We were trying to keep things fresh, and just it was a real wonderful team effort from everyone involved in Louth GA. So we're just thrilled for everyone.
We look at it, you did brilliantly to stem their momentum at the end of the first half. They got the upper hand, but fantastic composure for your team to grow into it in the second half, and really fantastic game control at the end to see yourself over the line.
No, look, it was wonderful game control at the end. I wish we would grow into it a bit faster, and that's something that we continue to speak about as a group. Going into the All-Ireland series in 2 weeks' time, like we have to. You're playing Division 1 teams now, so you won't get away with what we were doing there today. So, but look at here, we won. It's the main thing. It doesn't matter how, we just found a way. And this group, any time our backs been against the wall, from National League game 7 against Meath, Inniskeen, to Laois, to Galera the last day, and now it's just been incredible.
I'll let you back to the celebrations in a second, but final question. What did you see in this group when you filled massive boots to make your maiden step into inter-county management? You've always spoken about the ability. What was it that you saw in Louth that maybe other people didn't see?
The biggest thing I see in Louth is the enthusiasm and the desire to get better. And I here to be credit, and I mentioned before, the previous management, the clubs, like, we're just here to add value, and whenever my time finishes up with these lads, the next man will be given the keys and he has to take care of it and try to continue to add value. And I suppose that's something I learned from my own club in Vincent's, and it's just here, Damon, delighted for the lads.
Enjoy the night.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, yeah, that's great.
Oh, here might be the only way to go after what we've just witnessed here this afternoon. So, Ger Brennan, Niall Moyna was with him there as well, leading Louth to the Holy Grail, the Leinster Football Championship, their first since 1957. But they are not done yet, because we now know all 4 group games, which are coming up thick and fast. You can see Louth there, along with Clare, Monaghan and Down in Group 3. And in Group 2 is where Meath go, with Kerry, Roscommon and Cork. And not that we want to look too far ahead, because this is a day to celebrate in itself. But you two said that really it was all about today and they won't be looking too much further. I'm not so sure, Sean Cavan, after seeing that performance today.
I think when you look at
the celebrations are going to go on long and hard.
They'll fancy their chances. Look, the county will be in a real high and a real buzz. You're going to see people out at those games like their lives depends on it, and fair play to them. But look, they've a fair bit of celebrating to do, so I hope they give it a few days and really enjoy. 68 years is a long time.
And what about Meath?
Yeah, listen, Meath can still have to get something out of the year. They're a young enough side, they'll be gutted with today, but they have to build on that confidence of beating the Dubs, and they have to go into that group system and try and continue with their progress. It's not all lost, it was small margins, but for me, Louth will celebrate long into the night. I wouldn't say they're even thinking about the group stage, Joanne. But
no,
what a weekend for football, though.
They're absolutely not, but they not show, after all those nervy times that they had today, that they could cause problems as the summer goes on.
Oh yeah, look here, they've a brilliant balance across the team. They've some great leaders. They've got strength where you need strength, and game management. We talked about the top teams. Whenever they need to hold the ball in those moments, second half, and get the scores, they did that. They
have to be hydrated to cause problems in the next few weeks.
On that note, it's a big thank you to both Sean and to Kieran as well. Don't forget to join Jackie from 9:30 to look back on the whole weekend of football and hurling, and what a weekend it is. Also, we have a big week coming up on the Sunday Game Live next week as well. But for now, we're just going to soak up what has happened here this afternoon in Croke Park. Louth making history, winning their first Leinster title since 1957. What's happened here today? It's what the GAA, it's what football is all about. Bye-bye.